Welcome to Firebreathing Kittens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. We are joined by Pidge.
Hi, I'm a level 12 Transfiguration Wizard, Rock Gnome. I'm a Nuzlocke Challenge character, so I can only take Transfiguration spells. Does that make me weak? Well, let's find out.
Scrape.
How you doing? I'm Scrape, Tiefling Sorcerer. Tried to quit the magic. Turned out it was in me all along. Prettiest thing you'll ever see on two legs.
Nice. And Mendax.
I'm a changeling, and level 12, so maybe I can be a gnome or an elf, but I wouldn't want to deprive you, see, of the chance to get a good look at me, cause I'm Mendax, and I'm the best in the land. Maybe it's off the cuff, or maybe it's planned, but it doesn't matter, let me tell you why. Let me serve you up a piece of humble pie. I'm a fashion icon, that much I know. I look great in rain, sleet, sunshine, or snow. I got the perfect hair, the perfect coat, whatever I wear, I know it floats your boat, but I look dapper, man, you shout with glee. Let me tell you, man, you got nothing on me, all of that, and I'm an actor too, so sit down, man, move over and shoot. I'm the yarn spinner, yeah, that's my name. My claim to fame puts you all to shame. Don't blame the game for my acclaim. I just came to aim to drive the dames insane. You're a Mendax, I'm held in high regard. I tame the flame and I don't get scarred. I'm a wild card marred by the avant-garde. I can't go to the pub cause I am barred. Yeah.
All right. Please don't do it for real, but please drop the mic. And
I can't.
No, don't do that for real.
I would, but I can't.
You know what? Because I didn't see this coming. You get an inspiration point. So please take your inspiration point. It's like a luck thing. So somewhere along today, feel free to reroll something at some point because that was, yeah. What the hell was that?
That is why I ask all the people who play bards to actually do some music. And that's why I don't have many bards on this show, because most people are like, I can't. I don't know. Mendax is like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I've been watching Hamilton far too much.
That's
Hamilton.
Very okay. We all love Hamilton. And with this, let's dive into the story, shall we?
Yeah.
Right. Lightning splits the sky in half as a thunderous boom reverberates across the city. In a tall 4-story building uptown, a group of young performers is rehearsing in an auditorium, unaware that 2 floors above, a young girl is running for her life. Shit! 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 She says to herself as she tries to reach the grand staircase to join her comrades downstairs. Surely, she thinks, the large shadow pursuing her won't follow her to the auditorium where her friends are. She runs as fast as she can, feeling the dark presence gaining on her through the corridors. As she slides across the corner, she sighs in relief as finally she sees the stairs at the end of the hallway. She almost makes it to the stairs when something pulls on her ankle and she falls, feeling herself being dragged back into the dark. Her screams are never heard by the band downstairs, their music covering the young girl's pleas for help. The next morning, recovering from a restless night and complaining that the thunderstorm kept you all wide awake, Pidge and Scrape are in the Firebreathing Kittens Guild Hall. The Guild Hall is a large building with a bar, a sitting area with wooden tables and chairs, a wall with a corkboard, and jobs flyers posted.
Oh man, I don't know, do I? Pidge does not know. And then
oh no, you don't know this. This was my intro.
Comes in with his
and yes, and now Mendax comes in with the rap.
Boy walks in rapping.
Oh man, well, so the bar, the guild hall has a bar, and it also has a stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we know where Mendax is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's probably round back trying on hats, would be my guess.
Trying on hats is awesome too.
Yeah.
So, Scrape, that thunderstorm last night was really loud, wasn't it? I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah, you're telling me, love. I couldn't hear a damn thing. It was just ridiculous. Oh, matchsticks under the eyes today. And sorry, I'm not with it. I'm not with it right now. I've got to say, I'm gonna get something reviving from the bar. You after anything?
What time of day is it?
It would be in the morning. Yeah, like
okay.
I'm assuming it's some sort of like brunch moment. Mendax is just trying on hats.
Scrape, there should be orange juice involved. What else is involved is up to you.
Right.
Tequila!
Right, well, in that case, yeah, so Scrape goes up to the bar and he orders 2 orange juices, and in them he requires a large amount of fermented potato spirits and 2 whole eggs and cayenne pepper.
Ooh, very nice. And here I thought you'd just go for a plain mimosa. That's awesome.
No. You get to my age and you realise take all the opportunities while you can, sunshine. So Scrape brings them back over and expectantly looks at Pidge as he puts it down in front of her, looking very, very pleased at his brilliant idea that he just had.
Pidge picks up the orange juice with the egg, puts it to her lips, tilts her head back, and I guess, is the egg whole or mixed in?
There's a fork sticking out of the glass, so you can whisk it to the consistency you prefer.
I remove the fork and gulp the whole thing down, Rocky style.
Very Rocky style. Nice.
Once Scrape and Pidge are now kind of drinking their lives away, Mendax is going to come bounding out from the backstage with I think quite a fetching tricorn hat.
Ooh.
With maybe a kind of a flouncy feather, just kind of like off to one side, and just going to go, guys, look what I found. It's amazing. Did anyone else have a great night's sleep, or is it just me? And then he looks at Scrape and just goes, I do not know you. What's going on, friendo?
Yeah, friendo. My name's Scrape, and normally I'm a lot more cheerful, but it appears that you got my good night's sleep last night. And as he says this, he's packing a long stem pipe with satin slice pipe tobacco and searching for his matches.
At the sound of Scrape's voice, Mendax's eyes just kind of widen. He goes, half of his face goes red, half of his face goes white, and then he just kind of like quickly does a quick 180, turns around, just kind of like bends over for a short moment, and then kind of comes back. And when he turns back towards them, his face is, slightly different because he's a changeling. He can do that sort of thing, but. So you'd be able to recognize him, if you knew him, but otherwise he looks a bit kind of looks different to normal, and then he just kind of goes, "Hey, dude, sorry about that. What's up? Sorry about that voice. Just hanging loose and words, and just kind of looks very kind of like very put out."
Pidge sips the drink and watches. I don't know what's going on.
And then Pidge, you hear a voice in your head just saying, "Just go with it, okay?"
Oh yeah. Not much is up. How about you, Mendax still?
Yeah. I'm all good, bro. Check out my hat. Yeah.
Okay, Pidge. No, she's quite short. So do you bend down so that she can check out your hat?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. I love feathers, so I'm playing with the feather. That's a good hat.
Did you hear that gnarly lightning last night? It was amazing, bro.
Heard it. I thought I was lying in bed next to me. It was that bloody loud.
It was amazing, bro.
Well, yeah. Not all of us look as good as you do. Some of us needed our beauty sleep. I think the state of the crow's feet under my eyes.
Whoa.
Well, Pidge will order a coffee from Nusi for Scrape.
Great. So the coffee gets there, and it would be at that moment that you would notice that something new was posted on the job board. You notice that there seems to be like an 11-14 size paper, and it seems to be a poster for some sort of performance.
Dude, check this out. Looks amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go visit. Surf's up.
Surf, must we? It sounds a bit loud, and he eyes up the small, potent ceramic cup of thick brown liquid in front of him and goes, although this might help. He gulps it back in one and takes a long pull on the stem of his pipe.
I promise you, man, nothing better than a good show and some loud noises to get rid of that hangover of yours.
Mate, I wish this was a hangover. I know what to do with a bleeding hangover.
Oh, you're not? Whoa.
No,
I've never looked like that without a hangover.
This is just my attitude if I've not had a decent 8 hours, that's all.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sucks potatoes, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm sucking down some potatoes as we speak, he says as he takes another glug on his Harvey Wallbanger with eggs.
It's totally gnarly.
Pidge hops down from the bar stool and heads over to the poster. What does it say?
Nice. The poster seems to be announcing the performance for a high school talent competition. The artwork shows a group of young performers smiling under stage lights, and there are bright, bold letters that say, the Jollyburg Auditorium welcomes you to its 68th Youth Talent Competition. Come witness the best talent from the nation as they dazzle you with feats of music, magic, and wonder, with special guest judges Mick Jaguar and Rhiannon from Eastwood Mac.
Oh, I love Mick Jaguar and Rhiannon. This is worth going to for them alone. Tickets for their shows are very expensive. What a good draw.
Well, maybe a walk will brighten me up, perhaps. We'll, yeah, why not? How often do you get to see Mick Jaguar?
Like every night, bro.
Oh.
I've got a sending stone number.
Ooh.
Whoa.
The poster...
He keeps calling. He's real needy.
Sure, Mick Jaguar is needy. Great.
Canon.
Canon. The poster indicates a date for tomorrow night as the date of the performance. Added to the announcement is a post-it. So, like, a little piece of paper was kind of stapled to the actual poster. And that one says that the St. Gilbert Academy requests adventurers immediately to act as chaperones and escort as we bring our students to this event.
Well, I've got nothing else on. I suppose I could do the work. I mean, yeah, I suppose we got to encourage the arts in the kids. Otherwise, what are they going to do? Probably end up...
I really like the idea of trained security specialists being the chaperones to a school event. Like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I've got a little badge I can wear on my arm. I'm sure that'll be all right. Stick it on the sleeve and it'll all be official.
Yeah,
what's the pay for this, anyway?
A fire-breathing kitten on a shield is the badge.
Yeah, I've got the tattoo on my chest, but I should probably cover that up around the kids.
That might be better.
I don't know. I'm a stranger around these parts. I don't know what people do with their kids these days. They might well encourage them to look at strangers' chests, but, you know, I'm not a dad. How would I know? I don't keep up with stuff.
Pidge goes into the supply closet and gets you a shirt. Here you go.
I've got a shirt. I just don't like doing them up, but I will do. But thank you.
Clothing people since 19...
I've just got this thing. I'm just, you know, just everything looks slightly better when it's slightly undone. I'm not... All right, fine.
You look great.
Thank you. I feel bound. But I'm all right. I'll get used to it. It's okay. Wait a minute. I haven't even decided if I'm going to do this. What's the fee? Does it say?
The poster itself doesn't say what the pay is for the job. The address for the high school is written on the same post-it, along with the name of Professor Indigo, that you should speak to should you be interested in taking on this job.
What if we want to protect all the Indigo kids?
Mm-hmm. The St. Gilbert Academy, for those of you who are from Nicomoy, is one of the fanciest high schools uptown. It's one of those, like, very private, very privileged sort of institutions for very, very fancy kids.
Wow.
Dudes, this is nothing about money. So they might try and just pay us an exposure, and I don't fly that plane.
I've just put a shirt on. Apparently exposure's not allowed.
Do you have Rhiannon's contact info?
Yeah.
Oh, because if you didn't, you could get it here. Oh, darn.
Well,
I mean, we had a thing a while back, and I do not want to see her.
wait a minute. Are you the same Mendax that entire record was made about?
Dude, I do not want to go into it right now. If that's
Fine.
with you.
Sorry, probably just tired. Something
Source.
triggered in the old brain box there, but I'm probably wrong.
Dude, that is a real soul subject.
Okay. Well, anyway, are we all going to go together, or are you going to go your own way?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, I've just been a bit sick in my mouth. I don't know if that was the eggs or not.
I'm very happy. This is what I wanted to happen. So thank you for feeding my soul.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
I mean, dude, we could vote on it, but I have a feeling it might be a landslide.
So between puns, do you decide on what you would like to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, it would be a laugh to show these posh kids from the posh school what a tiefling looks like up close, so I'm in. See how good they are at dancing when they're terrified.
You look great. I keep telling you. I do a full 360 around you, and I like straighten the shirt, because it had only been half on. I'm like, you look great. You're gonna go over well. Yeah,
Dude, you'll be fine. I bet you look good on the dance floor.
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
yeah. Polish those horns up a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I just reckon the posh kids won't know what one looks like. So I'm excited to be their first experience of being in the same room as a tiefling. I bet they've heard all the stories.
Mendax, how about you?
Yeah, sure, I'm up for it. Let's go.
All right.
I'm gonna need some tequila, though.
Is it too uncomfortable being around your ex?
Oh, I did not think about that. Let's cross that bridge when we get to it, okay?
Mate, you've got to let go. You can't just keep on with it. You just got to break the chain somehow, mate. Come on, it's not something you can just carry on with.
I mean, this was like last week, so...
Last week, 3 weeks. What's a week? What's a week to a guy like you, eh? Thought you were a changeling. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Change it.
And the best way to get over a heartbreak is to move on and find yourself, maybe find a new love. Ooh. So let's get you outside.
Did somebody say side quest?
Please don't find a new lover at the high school, though.
With the other chaperones. With the other chaperones. Just
Yeah.
clear.
Oh, yeah. It won't just
I
be
thought
us.
that was obvious.
Yeah, not with the high schoolers.
All right. So do you all agree on heading out and maybe heading to the high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Let's give it some.
All right. It's a fairly quick walk to get uptown and get to the high school itself. The St. Gilbert Academy is a tall, very old and pristine-looking 4-story building. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's a tall 4-story building. Yeah, it looks fairly posh. You see, it's still early in the day. Some kids are still kind of coming in to start their days of classes. You see, parked out front is a long school chariot. So you'd have to picture like a long wooden trailer, painted of yellowish gold. It has like a little bit of a roof, so like students actually have to like walk in there through a door. There are windows all along both sides of that long school chariot, and like it's fairly long. Like you'd guess like you'd be able to fit like 50, 60 people in there easily, for this long vehicle. And at the front of this vehicle, where you would expect horses to be, is actually a strange sort of big triangular device. Pidge, you would instantly identify this as like gnomish designs. It seems to be steam powered. It vibrates a little bit, and there's a little bit of orange smoke that's kind of pouring out of this device from a little pipe on the side. And this big thing has, it's big, it's wooden, it's painted yellowish gold. There is the coat of arms of the St. Gilbert Academy on the side. And it's parked out front as kids are kind of pouring out and getting ready for their classes.
Ooh, Pidge should be doing the responsible thing and steering my two friends towards the guidance office, but I'm distracted because technology. So, is there a driver to the bus? That's what I'm trying to find.
Yeah, the driver is actually outside. So you see the bus and you have these students coming out. Students who, by the way, all look very well dressed. They seem to fit with the school's reputation quite well. But they also seem a little bit eclectic. Like, it's not just humans. You have gnomes and dwarves coming out of there. A couple of, gnomes, dwarves. There are some elves, a few tieflings. Even some Aarakocra, so like some bird people just kind of walk out of the bus. It's a really colorful match of races and peoples at this school. And you see a tall, skinny man next to the door who's kind of holding the door open for the students. He's a tall man with a little bit of a gray mustache.
With my -1 charisma, I probably walk right past him and go right up to the bus triangle of gnomish design with the steam, and I'm like, "Ooh, is that a 50 or a 55?"
Does she do this often, Mendax?
Dude, you have no idea.
Hello, you. What do you want?
Oh, hello there. We're Firebreathing Kittens, all official. We read a little notice you need some chaperones to help keep the little rugrats, the ankle biters, in order while they're doing their singing and dancing, yeah?
All right, yes. I would not be able to answer any of this, but if you go into the welcome hall, you'll be able to speak with Professor Indigo. He's supervising this whole trip. I'm just the driver.
Well, you know this Indigo chap well, or?
A little bit. He's in charge of the arts. Nice guy.
Sounds good. Anything that would turn him off us in any way? Any information that could be helpful to our cause?
I don't think so. Are you guys adventurers? Do you know how to defend people? Because that's what we need.
Well,
Dude, look at my hat.
That is a gorgeous hat. It's very pretty.
Would a peasant have a hat like this?
No, a peasant would not.
Not for long, anyway. So, just through here, is he?
Yeah, over there. I'll be here getting the chariot ready.
Me too.
Pidge. Yeah. Oh. Right, you're just happy here, are you, Pidge?
Oh my gosh. I have always wanted one of these for myself, but what do I need a 50 to 60 person carriage for? But look, and it's cooling down and producing noises as it cools off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I must investigate. Does he lift the lid for me?
If you want to ask for him to lift the lid, you definitely can.
Can I see inside?
Roll a persuasion, please.
Uh-oh.
Mendax begins backing away slowly.
That is a 5.
5? Why would you like to see in there?
Because she's a nerd.
Oops, my bad. Maybe some other time, and then I head inside with my friends.
Maybe some other time. And you head inside to a kind of great entrance hall. It's one of those very fancy looking schools where you walk into a big entrance and there are these curved staircases on both sides that head up to the classrooms upstairs. And as you walk in, you see that there are some students who are getting to classes, but some other students are kind of lined up in the entrance hall. All of them have a little travel bag, and they seem to be kind of ready to leave or something. And speaking to them is the smallest tabaxi you've ever seen, and it's he's kind of, I'm not going to say gnome size, but maybe 4 feet and not much more. So a little tabaxi. Seems to be a professor. He wears tiny little glasses and a little vest, and the hair on top of the head is kind of coiffed very well. And his fur is that those cats that are gray, but almost gray, they're a little bit blue. And he kind of looks like that, and he kind of walks around the students, He's got a little clipboard, and he seems to be taking attendance.
Mendax makes a beeline straight for him and just kind of like scrunches his head and just goes, hello, how are you?
Oh, hello.
Do we have the pleasure of addressing Professor Indigo?
Oh, indeed you are. Hello. I'm assuming you're here to talk about the poster, right, that we distributed this morning.
Well, you're clearly a man who can see adventurers when he sees them. Yes, we are 3 representatives of the Firebreathing Kittens Guild. Just here to let you know that all your other posters were a waste of time, mate. We got you covered.
Pidge pulls Mendax off of Dr. Indigo.
Hello, Bud. Would you like a treat? Have a treat.
No.
Professor Indigo.
You'll have to forgive my acquaintance, my colleague. He's excellent at his job, and the jury's out on things that aren't his job. But job second to none, mate.
He saved my life. I pat him on the shoulder.
Dude, I am amazing. I mean, dude,
all right.
Yeah, I was having an amazing time.
He can sometimes even maintain his own accent, so he's doing all right, yeah.
I'm having a snack.
All right, let's not discuss in front of the students. Please, come with me. And he kind of quickly indicates you to a little classroom a little bit off into one of the corridors, welcomes you in and closes the door.
Does he then ask for the door to be open?
No, he closes it.
All right, but surely he wants to be on the other side of it at any given time.
Yeah. Does he want to leave again? Right.
Oh, no. He stays in the room with you.
Just open the door and then he just meows at you.
Is there a box in there somewhere?
There is no box. So he welcomes you into the classroom, closes the door. I'm sorry for this, but we don't want to scare the children, so it's better if we speak here. I don't know if you've heard, why we need adventurers to head over there is, something happened last night. One of our students found, a young girl, Clara Silverpan. She was a few floors, upstairs, and he found her completely catatonic. Some sort of, we don't know, paralysis. She wouldn't move. Her eyes were wide open, and we didn't know what it was. Of course, we took her back to her home right away, and lucky for us, her father is a very talented healer, and we're convinced he'll be able to fix her no problem, hopefully. But then word of the event came to the Parent Teachers Association, and parents did not want the other students to go on the trip following what happened, of course. But these kids, they work so hard and they deserve a chance to win this prize. So with a little bit of convincing, parents agreed to let the kids go on this little field trip to the talent competition if we hired qualified protection for the group.
Well, they don't get more qualified than us, Sunshine. Don't worry, we've got you covered.
Did she have a medical condition that caused her to go,
Not that we know. She was a very popular kid, one of the, not that I know anything about this, but she seemed to be one of the, social people. Beautiful girl, elven descent.
Dude, that's not cool.
No, beautiful in a very respectful sort of way. Not in a very, no, I'm not like that. No.
Takes notes.
Could you almost say too beautiful, too popular, too likely to develop enemies within what is a very high achieving and high expecting school?
Enemies, I wouldn't know. I mean, she was supposed to be in the talent show, and she was a wonderful singer. Oh, that voice. You've never heard a soprano like that.
And I won't if she keeps on being catatonic. Sorry.
Well, so we have no reason to believe that she had anything other than an unfortunate medical incident with her own self, right? I mean, if a person just faints and collapses in a hallway, it's good that they found her quickly, and I don't see how this might endanger the other students. But we'll keep an eye out.
I'll tell you what. Did she just have a right time of it last night because of that bleeding thunder? I'll tell you what, it was hard to get me up this morning. Have you tried just shaking her by the shoulders a bit?
I'm not sure. Once she had been taken home, we don't exactly know what's been done with her.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sure they're doing everything they can to make sure that she wakes up safely and in good health.
And you could have shaken her a bit is all, but all right, fair enough. So, what is it that you want us to do specifically?
It's pretty simple. We want to make sure that the kids are safe for the entirety of the trip. That's why the Parent Teachers Association agreed on unlocking a little budget to hire protection for this field trip. Not
budget.
that you would.
Now, what was that about the old budget there?
Exactly. Let me see here. And he pulls out a little notebook with some notes from apparently the meeting he's had the night before. Yes, what was agreed by the Parent Teachers Association was a total amount of 30,000 gold to run the protection of this school trip. Yes, these are very fancy parents.
Mendax begins choking a bit. Is like,
Oh yeah, you have money problems.
Yeah, what I think my esteemed colleague is trying to say is that far be it from us to go against guild standards, but something, we like you, Indigo. We like you. We like your lovely whiskers and your tail that swishes when you're excited. Now, for you, we probably could do 30. But what we're going to need is probably 10 of those 1,000 up front, see, because we've got to make sure that we've got ourselves covered, don't we?
Oh, sure. I don't see why that would be a problem.
So 15,000 up front, then. That's all right.
Very well. That seems fair. I'll head upstairs and get the checkbook from the headmaster, and then
language. Teddy on checkbook. This guy.
Okay.
if I may just interject quickly, can we make it 30,000 plus expenses? Because I don't want to be breaking into the reward.
For sure, that seems only fair. We'll cover. We already have a little hotel book next to the auditorium outside of town. Traveling there is about a day's worth. So, you'll head there. The students are ready to leave today. So you'll head there. You should be able to get to the hotel by, probably by the end of the evening, early night. And then you'll be able to stay there, enjoy the talent competition tomorrow night, and then you'll be able to head back. So, and yes, of course.
Most excellent.
Yes?
Yes. So, did she have any allergies, such as food allergies? On record?
Pidge is the only one doing the job.
With the school, maybe, and the records? Did she have any listed allergies to anything?
You know what? I'm not sure. If you'd like, as I go upstairs and get the checkbook, I'm sorry for my language.
Well, no. I like you. I'll forgive you.
All right. If you'd like, you can go and speak to the school nurse. She would have records for any medical conditions with the students.
Yes, please.
All right. And please don't mention this to any of the children. They're already nervous enough with the competition coming up. We don't want to scare them further.
Oh, don't you worry. Lips are sealed, mate. Not a problem at all.
Very well. He opens the door, leads you out, and back to the hall. Pidge, he indicates you further down one of the corridors towards what will be the nurse's office as he quickly runs upstairs to go and get the...
Oh,
I don't want to say the word.
Don't run in the hallway.
Okay, he walks quickly and heads upstairs.
He might trip, and then we'd have to, fix that. And,
It's all right. Cats always land on their feet.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to all head to the nurse's office together?
Yeah, why not? She might have a better idea of what's going on. yeah, because you never know what's been going on. We might find out some other stuff as well, because tell you what, Pussycat Willem doesn't appear to know much, so let's have a look otherwise.
And we also want to inspect the kitchen before we leave to make sure that nothing's being tampered with in the food department.
And also because Mendax has a little case of the munchies.
Yes. Expenses are covered.
He needs a snack, yeah.
Well, sure, why not? We've, yeah, I mean, as long as he's up there scratching away on the checkbook, then it should be all right. Yeah, why not? Let's go.
To the nurse's office.
All right, so you head to the nurse's office. The door is already open as you walk in here, and you see behind the counter is a little halfling woman, you know, like advanced in age, like brown hair with a lot of like white streaks and gray hair in there. And she's just kind of taking notes in a little notepad as she sees you kind of get closer to the door.
Hello?
Hello, nurse's office, is it?
Yes, can I help you with something?
I bet if anyone can, it would be you, love. We've got I'm sure you're fully aware of, poor dear Clara.
Oh, yeah, poor thing. I heard about it this morning when I got here.
Ah, did they let you take a look at her, did they? A professional woman such as yourself?
I didn't look myself. She had already been brought back home, but I was curious and I pulled out her records. It's actually right here on my desk.
Convenient, isn't it? I suppose we could have a look at it, do you?
Okay, she's got a pad of paper and she's got the records out. I like her. What's your name? I'm Pidge. I hold out my hand.
Oh, I'm Minerva. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Minerva. Pidge has just
Lovely
found
name.
a friend. We're the same height.
Pidge is just writing down in her friend ledger. Yes, new one. Minerva at the school. Thanks.
See, I imagine it just says like Minerva and then just a line and it just says friend ?
Fascinating. Minerva. Your surname happened to be Friendship? Good.
No, that's a middle name.
You're right. If there was ever a middle name, it would be Friendship. Friendship is my middle name.
So she indicates that she had been curious and she had pulled out already the records for Clara. If you want to take a look at them, feel free to roll an investigation check.
Yes. Oh no. I have a +9 in investigation, but that is a 1 on the dice.
Oh, so that's a 10 total?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, 10 would be enough to discover that, you know, like under the big box that says like medical conditions, nothing.
It's not hard to see nothing on the page. Yeah, okay.
I might just reach that level because I've just rolled including my modifier, an 8.
Oh, I got a 13.
13 investigation. All of you agree after looking at the paper, like one on top of the other, looking over Pidge's shoulder. No underlying medical condition. She seemed good. She seemed fit. She had good grades.
Broadly speaking, healthy.
Hey, yeah, that's kids. So is this the first time that you've had a catatonic patient here at St. Gilbert Academy?
Oh, yes, that hasn't happened before. Nothing like that. You know, usually we get... You know how students can be sometimes. They get injured during sports, but nothing like this.
Did you know Clara particularly well, or... Because she doesn't appear like she'd have spent a huge amount of time in here.
No, I didn't really know her at all. I mean, we know our students. I've seen her down the hall. She seems quite popular. She has a group of friends. I see her hang with the Feathers quite often.
With the who was that now, beg your pardon?
The Feathers. They're a group. They're actually in the talent competition. They're a group of three young Aarakocra girls. And they seem to be quite friendly with Clara.
Any of them knocking about the school at all? You say they were in the... they're probably getting ready for the old competition, aren't they? Well, that's three girls who are known as the Feathers. Was Clara one of them?
Oh, no, she wasn't a feather. I mean, she was an elf. She wasn't part of the Aarakocra group dynamic that they have, but I've seen her hang with them quite often.
Singers hanging out. Okay.
Mendax somehow has produced like a handful of cookies and is just kind of like munching on them. He's just going,
Oh, how are the kitchens?
dude, they are rambunctious down there. It's amazing.
Rambunctious kitchens. Well, I think we've got everything we need here.
That's a bad name, if I ever heard one.
Rambunctious kitchens.
Do you want to have rolled an investigation check for the kitchen so that we don't take up too much time? Since you were there.
All right. Why am I saying this with her voice?
Yes, please roll an investigation check.
Roll for munchies. Okay. Whoops, that's it.
If Minerva's got an opinion, I want to hear it.
That's a 6 for munchie check.
Oh my gosh, I should have done it.
Food was good.
I guess she wasn't poisoned.
That's what. Yeah, that's what happens when the first thing you see is a box of biscuits. Then you just go, yeah, whatever. I'll look around, nothing's fine.
If you've got the munchies, you do not care what goes into your mouth.
Not
I'm told.
Usually. So
Well,
I'm informed.
I guess I trust Mendax's investigation.
Oh, one thing, Minerva. What is it? Is it dormitories at this school, or are they day kids?
Oh, no, they're day kids. They all
right.
live in town. They live in the... I think they mostly live close in the... not that I want to be an elitist or something, but the good part of town. They live around here, most of them.
Do they ever keep any of their property on the school in some sort of cupboard or locker sort of effect, or do they just have to drag it around with them all day?
Oh, yeah, they do have their lockers. I think,
And she grabs the document that you had still in your hands, Pidge, Clara's records, and she indicates you to a locker number on the 3rd floor.
See, there it is. That's where...
Excellent.
That's where her locker is.
Well, suppose we should probably have a little look in there just in case there's anything suggestive of foul play.
Yes. Good idea.
Very well.
Well, thank you, Minerva. You've been ever so much more than just helpful. You've been a joy. Thank you, love. See you soon.
Oh, thank you.
And there's a little bit of a blush in this woman's face as she welcomes you out of her office or says goodbye.
Into the rest of the school.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to head to the locker?
Yes, please. Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
All right. You guys start walking towards the locker, and as you start walking up the stairs, you see Professor Indigo walking down the stairs. And he's holding a little check in his hand.
Can he not just carry it in his mouth?
No, he has hands.
Like, just kind of like paddles down.
I get his attention by going, pss, 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 pss.
Oh, there you are. Here, I have the check. Were you going upstairs? We should be getting ready to leave soon.
Scrape, in one fluid motion, takes the check from his paws, bites it to check its value, and then slides it into his newly acquired shirt pocket, and puts his arm around the tabaxi in a conspiratorial way, saying, we've just come into some intelligence that we should just do a quick sweep just to make sure that nothing's lingering in the school as a result of the incident from the other night. You know, we talk about it, but the students might hear. We'll be outside with you in 2 flicks of your tail, mate. And then
I've checked the kitchens, it's all good.
And then he just sort of not shoves him, but he sort of really encourages him to continue walking down the stairs.
Oh gosh.
Hoping that he's using his quick wit and silver tongue to baffle and send the professor down the stairs without giving too much away.
Professor Indigo rolled a nat 20 on not falling down the stairs from that push.
Good.
But
He's
it
a
wasn't
cat.
intended as a as a violent push, but yeah.
Yeah, with surprising cat-like agility.
Or maybe not that surprising, given that he's a tabaxi.
Maybe not that surprising. Still, he lands down and he completely agrees with you, and he says that he'll start loading helping the students get on the school chariot while you do your final sweep before you all leave for the day.
Ooh, we're being left alone in the school?
I mean, left alone, like, there's a bunch of other students and people, like, everywhere, but speaking about the students that you're interested in and the professor that you know, they'll be outside loading on the bus.
So, let's go to our locker, guys.
Let's have a quick sweep of the locker, and
there's this book that I read recently, because I'm a wizard. I love reading books. And it was called Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And in it, there's this tunnel system in the school that is responsible, in part, for the petrification of the students. I can't help but want to check for
secret passages.
Legends of secret passages in the school. And I guess the person to ask for that would be the custodian.
Or the librarian. They might be able to send you to a history of the school book.
Yeah, I want to talk to the Argus Filch of St. Gilbert Academy.
All right, and that's as you're kind of walking up the stairs towards the locker, right?
Yeah, and the reason I'm going to use is because I want them to open a janitor or a custodian has all the keys, so I want them to open the locker.
Oh, all right. So roll an investigation check again, just to see if you're able to find this custodian.
22.
22.
I was about to say, do we all do that? Don't need to.
need
Questions
to.
do not need to be asked.
So as you walk up the stairs, you see this one person, a tall half-orc with a mop. And you're like, I wonder if they're a custodian.
We can't be sure.
No, you see them right away.
I elbow Mendax, and I'm like, I have no charisma. Can you do this?
So Scrape goes up, claps him
I
on the back.
elbowed Mendax.
Oh, sorry?
I elbowed Mendax.
All right. Beg your pardon.
Whoa, you just elbowed my side, dude.
Yeah, I'm short.
You're so small. All right. Yo, dude, how's it hanging?
Hi, it's going good.
Nice. Yo, dude, we're like on this secret mission from like your prayers, so we need to get into that locker. That's all, copacetic and all.
Why do you need to get in a student's locker?
That's classified.
Roll your persuasion, please.
Gladly.
The great thing about bards is it's still going to work.
Can I retroactively use my inspiration?
Yes, you can do that. That's what it's for.
Excellent. Because that was a 1.
Oh.
That's not a lot better. But
Inexplicably, for some reason, he just assumed that when you said that his parents were not married when he was conceived. That's the sort of level of misunderstanding a 1 would do.
Okay.
And what was the new roll?
So that's a total of 17.
Okay,
17.
that's not that bad.
17 with that's classified is enough. The guy's like, well, you look like serious people. Sure.
Yeah, dude, it's the hat.
It is a fabulous
I'm a
hat.
serious person.
I completely agree. And he takes you to Clara's locker, just like a tiny little like metal cupboard sort of thing, with a little padlock, and he unlocks it for you. Just make sure you lock it again when you leave. Thank you.
Yeah, no problems, dude. Keep it real.
And he goes back to his mop, leaving you alone with the locker.
May I investigate the locker?
Sure. Roll your investigation, please.
Do you need a leg up?
Yes. Mendax will hold me up, and I got a 27. Because he's keeping my hands free. He's
27. All right. So you look into Clara's locker. The first thing you see as you open it is that there are, I was about to say pictures. They are sketches of her friends kind of taped along the, the inner door of that locker. And wow, Clara's a really good artist. Like the drawings are amazing. Photo-like, you could say. So you see there's a picture of there's a portrait of all three people in the same portrait, and they all appear to be Aarakocra. So you see these three heads of birds kind of together. One seems to be a portrait of a raven, one is a little bit more parrot-like, and the third one is a little bit squarer, and you can detect an owl. Beyond that, in the locker, you see a series of textbooks, which are in good condition. There was a lunch bag that was forgotten there, so there's a little bit of that smell that comes with it. The last thing you notice is a little bit of a... I'm not sure how to say it. Like a little bit of a notebook, but as you open it, you see that it kind of holds all her sheet music.
I offer the lunch to Mendax and say, poison test?
Dude, you read my mind.
All right.
Yo, Scrape! Found some food for you.
Yeah, I'm full of eggs at the moment, mate. But thank you. Maybe I'll pick something up if we go through a carriage through on the way. But that's
No
fine.
problem, dude.
Locker food is some of my least favourite. But Thought was very kind. Scrape reaches past and he picks up a small planner. As apparently on Wednesdays they wear pink. That's all I've got out of this so far.
That's a clue.
I'm mainly putting all my eggs in the pink clue basket. So don't talk to me unless you've got a pink theory. Actually, no. Strike that. What's the notebook you got there?
I hand it to you. It's full of sheet music.
Only we knew someone who could read music.
Yeah, if only, dude. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you
Wait, I forgot I'm here.
I'd have hated to have had to remind you that you were here, but yeah, what do you make of these then? And again, passes the sheet music portions from the notebook over to Mendax.
Mendax, what you understand from the sheet music is, or like what you understand as you're kind of looking at it, is that these were her notes for the number she was going to perform at the talent competition. The first few sheets are the sheet music themselves, and you realize, like, okay, they weren't kidding about the singing. Like, these are really hard. Like, you see, like, it's very challenging stuff that she decided she wanted to sing. Next to that, are some notes that she wrote down. You can tell that she's been paying attention to some singers. She went to a Dolly Parton concert not long ago, and she took notes like, oh, Dolly performs like this, she sings like that, she moves like this, and there are a lot of notes over there. And yeah, she seemed fairly prepared for her number. And as you're reading this, the only thing you have in mind is like, wow, she's got this.
Dude, in my expert opinion, this is definitely music.
Delighted to have you along, Mendax. That's
Otherwise, she seems a total nerd.
fair enough. I think that Scrape is going to quickly ping out some detect magic over the locker and the contents, just in case there's anything nefarious going on, or she's been trying to have some performance enhancing magic, which would be cheating, and also magic going wrong can lead to that kind of catatonia. So,
all right, looking at detect magic here because I just wanted to see the duration. Okay, it lasts for 10 minutes. Cool, that's what I wanted. So you start casting detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
As you're looking into the locker, there doesn't seem to be anything magic in itself in or around the locker itself. Like, there isn't this glow of magic that you would be able to see with your superpowered eyes right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't notice anything magic. Okay. No, it was a regular locker with some textbooks.
Okay, well, there doesn't appear to be any cheating going on.
The janitor's over there with their mop, right?
Yeah, he'd still be kind of further down the corridor and just doing his job.
Okay. I go up to them. I say, thank you.
With your friend's journal out.
Oh. Thank you for letting us into their locker. St. Gilbert seems like a pretty large building. Do you clean this all yourself?
Oh no, we're a team. I'm the day guy, there's an evening guy, and there's a night woman.
Oh, well, do you only clean like the hallways here, or do you clean the rooms and the auditoriums and the gyms?
We do everything. We divide it amongst ourselves, so I don't do the entire building every time I'm here. That would be insane.
Yeah, so much work.
But yeah, we cover everything. The three of us, we make sure that we split tasks and we clean the entire building.
Wow. So who handles like the hallways in between, like, you know, like the out of bounds places that students normally wouldn't be able to get into? Any secret passages?
Move.
-1 to charisma.
That's fine. You played into it. Secret passages. I don't know. I don't know what you'd be referring to. This is a pretty standard building. The only places the students aren't allowed to are like the principal's corridors on the last floor. But that, I mean, nobody goes there if they don't need to.
Right.
Principal. I should have said headmaster because that's what I said before.
Oh, yeah. Who would want to visit the headmaster for sure? Okay. Well, thanks for that help.
At this point, you start hearing a little bit of a honking coming from the courtyard downstairs.
Is there a goose in front of the carriage?
A little bit more of a mechanical honking.
Mecha goose.
A robot goose.
Oh, that's terrifying.
A Kai goose. Sorry. I'm just enjoying myself now.
That's very fine.
You weren't before? Oh.
No.
Wait.
A kaiju goose?
Yeah, a Kai goose. A Kai juice. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it sounds like with last call. So, has everyone been to the littlest room? Because we probably can't stop while we're on. So, last check.
Yeah, that's up to you if you want to do like a last restroom stop. I should have said before heading out. The honking seemed to be coming from the school chariot, and it does seem like everybody is on board and ready to leave.
Well, if we're all ready and comfortable, then any objections to us getting on?
Nope.
And Mendax is just kind of like just trying to decide. Is like trying to weigh it up. He's like, do you have a bag of holding?
You do have a bag of holding, mate, but there's also a bathroom right there, so...
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So he's like, oh yeah, fine, I'll just go real quick. I'll be back in a moment.
Perfect.
Mendax did go to the toilet. So we're gonna go to this moment where kind of everybody's on the bus. Pidge and Scrib are already sitting down. We're all waiting impatiently, and then Mendax kind of runs out. Wait for me!
So about getting on the bus, Pidge has this hat. She's wearing a witch's cap.
Mm-hmm.
And it can make me look a little bit like a human child. Now, I've had the hat added to over time. It got some level ups. The hat can make me look like a human child of any richness.
Okay.
Now, not just a little human orphan child. So what I'd like to try to do is to be like 1 year younger than a high schooler, maybe, so like I'd blend in.
Oh, sure.
They're not quite children, but they're also not quite adults.
Greetings, fellow kids.
Hi, kids. I'm one of you. And I'd like to blend into the crowd, because on a big bus like this, you're always sitting next to people you don't know.
Right. That makes sense.
So I'm not going to be with Mendax and Scrape. I'm going to try to just kind of like find another, and I hate to do this, but I'll pick someone who looks similar to me because they're the most likely to accept me. So I'm going to find another rock gnome female.
You actually do find one. There's a group of rock gnome girls sitting at the back of the bus.
Oh, no, groups are scary. No, rejected.
Okay, then.
Just one. I'm a predator and this is prey. I just want one weakling to pick off.
All right. Well,
because that's how you make friends. Prey on the weak.
That's how you get information.
If you're looking for another rock gnome, unfortunately, there wouldn't be any other than that group of girls.
Okay, halfling.
I like to make friends the way cults get new members.
I'm not making friends. I'm getting information. I don't actually go to school here.
You don't see any other halflings or gnomes. Like, let's call them the small folk. You don't see them.
All right, screw it. Who's the ugliest chick sitting by herself?
That you find easily.
Excellent. That's what I'm going for.
So among the group of students, like the bus is big enough to sit like 50 to 60 people. There are a lot less right now because this is only the ones that are going to the talent competition. And as you do a quick glance around and you look for, how'd you say it?
The one no one else is sitting by?
The one no one else is sitting by, you find a half-orc girl.
The Pidge of the group, if you will.
Hey!
Ouch!
You find a half-orc girl, one of those girls in high school who seem to grow up a little bit too fast compared to the others, so she's kind of awkward in, like, the way she sits down. So she's a half-orc, she's got reddish hair that kind of comes down in two braids along the side of her face, big, thick glasses that kind of get caught into her tusks. She's wearing, like, a big wizard hat, but, like, a hat that clearly is not meant for her head because it's even bigger than her head is, and it kind of falls a little bit in front of her face.
I sit down in the seat that's across the aisle from her, and I take up the aisle side of that seat with my bag next to me. I actually don't have a bag. I start ruffling through my fanny pack on the space next to me while people are filing and sitting down so that none of them think that I'm taking up the seat, like, for any other reason other than to settle my stuff, but none of them try to sit with me.
All right. That's noted.
And no one's going to sit with her. So this means that we'll talk to one another.
Nice. So as disguised Pidge sits down next to the half-orc girl with a big hat, where would you guys like to sit on the bus? Professor Indigo would be sitting all the way at the front next to the driver. By the way, this whole strategy page about disguising yourself, he was completely on board with this. Like, sure, do what you need to keep the kid safe. That makes sense. That way you can blend in with them a little more. That's good.
Don't talk to me.
Scrape is going to lounge as casually as the cramped confines of the bus will permit him, whilst idly tossing a small flame ball up and down, whilst constantly scanning the surrounding areas out through the window, in the hope that a rebel-loving student will try and endear themselves to him with some gossip. He's sort of doing the opposite of what Pidge is doing.
You want to look cool so people will come to you.
Yeah, for the same end.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And Mendax is doing the opposite of both of them, somehow. He stood right in the center of the aisle and is trying to start a sing-song.
All right.
It kind of reaches over onto his back, grabs his ukulele, and just kind of goes, right, who knows the wheels on the bus?
These are high schoolers. Oh, no. You're about to learn.
Then he looks at his crowd and goes, okay.
But they're musical high schoolers.
Change gear. I can make this up. This is going to be... Almost heaven. West Nickermoy. There's some mountains, then something else. Dudes are old there, older than the trees, younger than... And then he just kind of gives up halfway because no one looks like they're having a particularly good time of it. And it's like, oh yeah. It's been a...
I mean,
they're not a fan.
Professor Indigo was starstruck as you start playing for the students.
He loves it.
Oh yeah, he loves it. He's like, wow.
Mendax has completely failed to kind of keep up with like current music and is very stuck in, a good 40 years ago.
Professor Indigo really liked it when you could hear all the words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do this little performance, and the bus is off, and you start heading outside of the city towards the auditorium. You know that'll be about a day's travel. That's what Professor Indigo had said. And the road leading up to there, and you'd be familiar with the region, all living in Nicomoy. The region is mostly going through like forest land as you're heading towards this little town that would have the auditorium. To talk about the people that are on the bus as you're traveling, you've met the half-orc girl with the big wizard hat.
No, I haven't.
You've seen her and sat next to her. You haven't met yet, but you know already of her. You do notice sitting kind of in front of the bus, not exactly in the front, but like a little bit closer to the front, are the three feathers. So you do see these three Aarakocra girls who are... It's not Wednesday, so they're not wearing pink, but they are all sitting kind of on the same side of the aisle. Like two are on a seat, the other one is in front of them with her head turned around. It's the owl one, so she can just kind of take a peek at them from the back.
I bet the feathers are pretty into the professional adult bard that just performed a little bit. Yeah?
Roll an insight.
Oh, okay. Not Pidge's strength.
But Pidge just asked.
10.
With this, Pidge was able to notice, like, the feathers were the first ones to kind of roll their eyes at the bard's performance.
They're the mean girls.
They're inscrutable.
One that seemed to really enjoy the performance was a drow girl sitting a little bit further back. She's got like big, bushy-ish white hair. The ends seemed a little bit kind of sun-bleached, and like it's white hair, but the ends are still sun-bleached. She wears like little sunglasses because it's during the day, and she's a drow, so you know she needs to be comfortable. And she has like one of those like. You know, like a big sort of poncho thing that covers her shoulders. It's kind of midnight blue with like constellations on it. It's really pretty. Another band that seemed to kind of roll their eyes at the performance are a group of 4 tiefling boys that are sitting on the bus. These 4 boys they seem to be kind of on the younger end of high school students. Like they're probably like around 15 or something. Compared to you, Scrape, they have like still like just tiny little horns, you know, and varying different shades. One skin is completely red. The other one has mostly like a human skin tone, but with like some little red patches. And they're all sitting there. There is the band of gnomish girls. There's also a dragonborn girl. Red dragonborn, and finally there's one human guy who's sitting all the way at the back, and he's kind of just sitting by himself, human but very small too, very skinny, a little bit awkward. If you had not decided to sit next to the half-orc girl, that's probably the one you would have picked, Pidge.
Yes.
Scrape clocks the tiefling lads and decides to, not because he means it, but for purposes of gaining some insights, he strategically mutters an insult regarding the bardic performance under his breath in Infernal, in the hope that it will attract the attention of the tiefling boys and make them and appeal to them, and as a way of ice breaking to find out if there's anything more going on.
All right, so I'll ask you to roll for that. Okay. If you liked Mendax's performance, roll a deception because you're lying about it. But if you didn't like it, roll the persuasion because you're trying to appeal to the boys.
I have got proficiency in both of those, so I will persuade. I will.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm going to whichever one. I'm sucking up to them, so deception, I suppose.
Yay!
I'm going along with. I couldn't remember which order it went in, but I'm going along with whichever it is that's going to endear me to the Ute. So that was a 14 plus 8.
22.
22.
Thank you.
That seems pretty good. So you make a comment in Infernal. So I don't know what Infernal sounds like. To me, it's just like, blah, blah, blah. But you say something. See, exactly that. Try
Language.
Try ordering a sandwich with that.
Yeah.
And as you say,
You won't like
and
what
as
you get.
and as you make these sounds, you see that one of the 4 tieflings kind of has this sort of like, like he chuckles, like still trying to act cool. Of course, he's a teenager, but there is this moment of like, oh yeah, the adult said something funny. They're still sitting a little bit further away from you though, but
Fair enough.
He's heard it.
I nod at the one who is laughing in just an appreciative, yeah, you heard. And then go back to looking out the window, not dwelling. Pardon me, not dwelling for too long.
All
This
right.
has been a great opportunity to discover the snobs.
I'm just sowing seeds. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Mendax is just kind of hastily scribbling some notes. Is like, okay, does that rhyme with that? Okay. It's like, because he's trying to figure out how to, kind of appeal to this brand new audience that he's managed to find himself threatened by.
High schoolers, man, they're scary.
So it's like, okay, I think I've got this one half written, but So he's kind of focus. He's kind of focus testing some songs. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll do me. So in real life, this one is only half written, and not even that. Just kind of, I thought about it maybe twice. There is a place in near Kermoy, the Firebreathing Kittens Guild, and on the wall they have a list of things they would like killed.
Okay.
All right.
Pidge claps, because someone should clap. So Pidge is in the back
Still
third
going.
of the...
They go on all sorts of adventures. What do they do? Who can say? But one thing that I know for sure is train fares they do not pay. Which is very true.
It is. Sometimes.
There we go.
Yay, Pidge claps. So it's like Pidge was sleeping, but when she hears that, she turns her head around and she's like, that wasn't half bad, to the half-orc girl across from me.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It was good.
Pidge takes out her notebook and her pen and casts the 4th level transmutation spell, Fabricate. I choose raw materials that I can see within range. I can fabricate. I think a deck of cards is less than a 10-foot cube.
Depends how big the cards are.
Normal playing size. And I with a smooth action, and if you've ever seen a person bridge cards from one hand to another, what starts out in one hand, because the duration of the spell is instantaneous, as a notebook, and all my blank pages at the end of it, bridges through the air and into my other hand as a playing card deck. And I'm like, you bored?
Oh, wow. That's... Oh, I do card tricks too, but nothing like that.
You want to play Rummy?
Sure. I don't know how to play. You'll have to show me, but...
I'll teach you.
All right. Do you want to come sit here?
Yeah, well, we, having played Rummy on a school bus before, it does take people who are sitting across an aisle from one another.
I don't know the game, so I'll just trust you with this.
You hold 7 cards in your hand, and then you try to place cards down 3 at a time. So, you pick a card up, you add it to your hand, and you place a card down on the discard pile. You can place cards down 3 at a time, such as 3 3s, 3 4s, 3 5s, etc., or a 3 4 5 you can place down. And then if the other
Okay.
person has the fourth 3, they can place that down. The first person to get rid of all their cards wins. And the favorite strategy is the stealth rummy, where you hold on to 7 cards. You draw a card that is not worth points because the game has to end on a discard, and you set down that card that you drew, and you go out. The stealth rummy, I do that to her.
Oh, that seems complicated, but sure, I'll give it a try.
Just draw 7 cards.
Okay.
There are easier games, of course, to for bus play. I'd go for Knockout Whist is a good one for
Fast.
a couple of people.
Yeah,
is-
no,
this is
it's not the best.
The
Best
second
game.
conversation I've had today that's involved a reference to knockout whist, and now
Oh,
I feel slightly unusual, but it's all good. It's all good.
that's
Don't worry.
really weird. I haven't mentioned it in about 10 years.
I hadn't mentioned it in equally a long time. Yes, good. I actually, while Pidge is producing and instructing on cards, as it worked the last time, Scrape is going to mutter under his breath the infernal for at the end of the when the little round of applause comes through at the end of Mendax's song. Scrape doesn't applaud. He just directs his head over towards the tiefling lads and says in infernal, "Yeah, sing us one with a body count, and we might be talking, yeah." And sees what the tiefling lads think of that brilliant witty barb of his.
Oh, they laughed at that one.
Yeah, we just sort of exchange sort of eyebrow raises and stuff, and then he goes back to polishing his pipe. Not on a school bus, no. He does. Sorry, he does.
Don't smoke, kids.
He goes. Yeah, don't smoke. No. He goes back to doing whatever he was doing, filing his nails or whatever, filing his horns into a lovely sharp point.
All right. And while you're having this,
Girl?
Pidge, yeah.
Yeah.
So Pidge, as you're kind of as you're introducing this girl to this card game, she kind of goes like,
So, are you trying to be in the competition too?
Yeah, I'm a stage magician. Did you like my trick?
I did. So am I. That's what I'd like to be. I'm not that good though. I can just do like small things.
and you see her kind of like she has one of the cards that you distributed that you made yourself, and you see her kind of flick it for a moment, and let's say it was like the Queen of Hearts. She kind of flicks it, and the Queen now has a mustache.
That's how I react. I go, oh.
Then Pidge is like, I can turn into a T-Rex.
No, I don't. I mean, that's good. You should win.
Yeah, with your passive arcana, you would know, like, this is really just, like, it's the prestidigitation cantrip. Like, it's nothing fancy. And, like, you can tell she hasn't really mastered it yet.
Oh,
like,
I know.
She can do small things, and half the time
I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm good with cards because they're small, but even then, like, I don't know. I
thought that was
It's scary.
amazing. Girl, have some confidence.
well, thank
Roll
you.
deception.
Do I have to roll deception?
no, you don't have to roll deception. It's,
Okay. Because that wouldn't end well. I have a negative one. So I just want to like let 10 minutes pass after the compliment with no, what do you call it? To let it settle on
Walking.
her so she's more at ease. So my friends can go.
all right. Mendax, is there something else you'd like to do? You were sitting in front of the bus. Is there another song? You don't have to if you would like to try something else. Like, I'm just gonna throw a change at him. Like, sing, monkey, sing.
Oh my gosh.
Making it hail
don't
up
have
in
to.
here.
But is there anything that Mendax would like to do during this bus trip?
Probably finish off the cookies.
Yeah.
So maybe have a nap, I think.
Sleep the sleep of the satisfied.
Maybe if there are some like people who have fallen asleep towards the front of the bus, he kind of like draws little moustaches on them.
Oh, classic bus pranks.
All right.
Yeah, and then prepares to blame it on the person sat next to them.
You notice that the only person that did fall asleep was Professor Indigo.
This is gonna be fun. So he's curled up in his seat, right? So what can I can probably undo prestidigitation to. Oh no, I want to make his tail smell of sardines.
Oh my gosh.
And that you can with a little cantrip that doesn't have any sort of saves or anything. Yes, you can give it the smell of sardines.
So his tail will always smell of sardines, and he won't know where the sardine smell is coming from. So, because when he turns around, it'll be behind him again.
All right.
And then once it smells of sardines, I move towards the back of the bus, away from the manky sardine smell.
Towards the human boy?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Because all cats need to be made more mentally unstable.
That the first April Fool's joke was that you would tape a fish to someone's back. So that is literally a classic prank.
Oh, that's...
All right, so
right.
Mendax is with the human boy.
It's a happy coincidence, just like when we when last episode Mendax was on. He was like obsessed with hunting down ice cream, and we happened to be recording on the US National Ice Cream Day.
Yep.
Wow.
And I had no idea. I mean, why would I?
Sure. Yeah, no. To be honest, you just said that, and I didn't go, oh, so you were recording on the... Yeah, I don't know what that would be either. Oh, that date is committed to memory, of course.
So the girl across from me, she looks comfortable.
Oh yeah, she's getting at ease a bit. She still feels a little bit like she still looks like insecure, and she feels a little bit intimidated by your magic skills. But at the same time, a compliment from somebody you respect always kind of puts you at ease. So she's she seems warming up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask her. So who's your favorite act? Have you seen any of the others?
Oh yeah, I've seen all of them. We were all in the auditorium last night. They're all so good. Like my little card tricks, I'm not sure I can win, but it would make Grandma really proud if I could do it. So I'm here now.
Yeah, will she be at the show?
No, she passed away.
Oh gosh.
You're a wizard. You might have heard of her. My grandmother was Anna Hathaway.
Oh my gosh, really?
And being a wizard, you probably would have known her. Anna Hathaway was an illusionist of some renown. Not like super famous or anything, but in the magic circles, the name would have popped up a few times.
Oh my gosh. And I just tell her for like 10 minutes how cool she is, while also getting out what the drow girl with the constellation poncho, what the young tiefling guys with the dragonborn girl, what the group of gnomish girls with the human boy, and what the Aarakocras all have as their stage act.
Yeah, so I can tell you that now. So the girl, to give her a name, her name is Velda. She does card tricks. The three feathers are a dance crew. Like they were on the cheer squad, but then they also wanted to get creative about it, so they have a 3-people dance crew. The drow girl, her name is, I feel bad about this. Her name is Cheryl Drow, and she's a contortionist.
You should not feel bad about that.
Cheryl Drow. I thought it was so funny. The Tiefling boys are, they have a band name. They're called One Destruction, but they are not a boys band. Do not tell them they're a boys band. They will get mad. The Gnomish girls are another little band. They combine kind of music and songs with with little potions that create smoke effects. They're called Alchemical Romance. The Dragonbone girl is Miley Saurus. She's a singer who does covers of Dolly Parton songs. And the little human boy at the end of the bust is Jimmy, son of Hand. He is a puppeteer.
What's his name?
Jimmy, son of Hen.
Okay. And he's a puppeteer.
Yeah, he's got a puppet.
So these are our suspects. Oh man, he's a puppeteer. That's creepy.
Yeah, I don't like his puppet either. I'm not big into it.
Can I see it from here? Like, I turn around and I'm gossiping with her now. We look at it together.
So you kind of turn around and you look at Jimmy, and you see that Jimmy's he's sitting all the way at the back, and he's got like one of those big cases, like a travel suitcase thing, and he's got it like on his knees, both arms on it, and
it's creepy how much he likes his puppet as well.
It always
and then
is.
as we turn around, Mendax walks down the hall of down the walkway of the bus past us towards Jimmy, right? Because you were heading, Mendax, weren't you heading towards the human boy?
I guess so, yeah.
And all right, and then I'll switch the story back to you.
all right.
Okay, I wander down the bus towards this human boy with a puppet, and like as soon as Mendax kind of like sees it, he gets really excited and he's like, oh, hang on, and he just kind of like starts padding around in his coat. He's like, I've got something around here somewhere, and then out he pulls a sock.
Listeners, he really has a sock.
all right.
And he just kind of so if we can imagine the camera view is on the boy kind of with the puppet case, this sock just kind of slowly creeps into view, and it just goes, hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
I'm Jimmy.
I don't have a name because I don't have a soul.
Jimmy looks at the sock, and he's you can tell he's kind of uncomfortable. Like, what is this? Who is this adult, and why does he have a sock?
Mind your own business.
I mean, he didn't ask that out loud. It's clear over his face. He's just a little bit, okay. You have a sock?
Yes, I do. Well, I say a sock. He's more of a personality, if you will. Yeah, I am! And I will stab you if, you get on my bad side. I should mention that Mendax actually has two socks. He's accidentally pulled out the really dark one. He's got one kind of nice one and then one really dark one. He's pulled out the dark one by accident.
Tale as old as time.
Oh. And yeah, you stand in front of Jimmy, and he seems really awkward.
I'ma
You see
stab you.
What is going on back there? Oh my gosh.
Yep. And for the first time, Jimmy, son of Han, knows what bullying feels like.
Oh, Velda and I look at one another. I guess we're watching this all, right?
Oh yeah, you see it.
Oh yeah, I'm not hiding it.
Okay. I happen to be a level 12 wizard. I'm going to...
I want to see where this goes.
I'm concerned about Mendax. So does...
I don't have a gnome, but I'm here to say you might not make it through to the end of the day.
Does Jimmy have a look of concern and fear on his face?
I should hope so.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Mama didn't raise no fool.
All right, then. So the nice sock puppet that was resting on the seat next to Mendax animates. It's a range of 120 feet, instantaneous, verbal somatics. So I whisper, rise. And what's her name? Velda. Velda and I share a look, and I'm like, I got this. And I mentally command the creature to... Now, I don't want to scare Jimmy.
Oh, he's already scared.
Yeah. You're not,
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's there.
That's basically adding a match to a bonfire, really. That's
Okay, I just want to scare Mendax. I'm going to have the sock climb up behind Jimmy, right? And Mendax doesn't know this. So I'm going to have the sock climb up behind Jimmy, and finger puppets, right? They can have fingers, and it's like on the window, like behind Jimmy, so Mendax can see it, but Jimmy can't, and it's going to wave a no finger to Mendax. And then it's going to point at him.
there's a sock on the side of the bus.
All right. Mendax is some.
What's that, intimidation?
I mean, I don't want you guys to have to roll against each other, but yeah, Mendax, up to you to decide if you understand the signal as you see your own sock animate itself and waving in the window
it is
next to
strictly
Jimmy.
speaking not my sock. It was taken from a small boy.
That's true.
Okay. Backstory I didn't know. That's great. Okay.
Gavin or something? Yeah. Yeah, so the sock is saying...
Oh, it was Gavrila, I believe he was called.
Gavrila.
Because I wrote down Godzilla.
Yeah. So Gavrila's sock waves no at you, and Jimmy can't see that. And he's specifically waving at the sock puppet.
All right.
So the good one is telling the bad one to, no, behave.
Knock it off.
The bad one just kind of like waves back and just kind of the sock puppet version of a very rude gesture.
Okay.
Which is quite impressive considering they don't actually have any appendages. But it just kind of like points back at him and goes,
I tried.
But, respects the fact that it can move without having a hand shoved up it.
Yeah. So you have your animated puppet who keeps watch on Jimmy, shall we say, as Jimmy is still being...
a minute.
Jimmy's still being a little bit intimidated by the other puppet that says that they will fuck him up. And as you keep heading into the forest, having these conversations, bonding with Velda, trying to impress the cool tiefling boys, and intimidating a little puppet kid
with a sock.
There is a moment where you start by feeling a little bit of shaking, kind of coming from below the bus, like a little bit like if it had gone over like speed bump or something, but like it's a trail in the forest, so we're not sure. Like there's a little bit of shaking, and then you hear the driver all the way at the front of the bus who goes, "Oh!" And there is a very sudden break.
The Mecha Goose honks.
Yeah, the Mega Goose honks. Thank you for the sound effect. I want
You're
you every
welcome.
time I DM now. Just like I want like soundboard Mendax. There is a very sudden break, a loud honk as the bus kind of stops all the way of a sudden. The bus stops all of a sudden. The students seem to kind of get at...
Pidge's Featherfall Gilder activates. It's like airbags, magic airbags.
Of
so
course,
like the whole rest of the students slam into the seat in front of them, and with the reaction, my
Pidge
feathers
is just nope. But
and that, kids, is why you wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scrape does a nice big swear in Infernal, and the tiefling lad's like, "Shit, that's a proper dirty word. That one, brilliant."
Which weirdly translates into common as just like biscuits.
In common, he
So
just
you
goes,
just-
"Oh my!" and all the tieflings just go, "Ah!"
Yeah, so there is this sudden break. Everybody kind of crashes into this, except for Pidge with her Featherfall air cushions. There's a little bit of commotion. Nobody knows what's going on. Professor Indigo kind of wakes up all of a sudden, and for a moment he's like, "What's that smell?" And then he points at the window in front of the bus and goes like, "What the hell is that?" And you see kind of like a 20-40 feet in front of the bus is this sort of black cloud that seems to kind of just be hanging in front of the road. And in a quick motion, this smoke cloud kind of starts moving and wraps itself around the bus, circling it like a 30 feet all around the bus. Is just now black smoke that manifested itself seemingly out of nowhere. And I think that's a good moment to call for a break.
Cliffhanger. I want to know what happens. That's really good.
Nice.
Thank you very much. So thank you for playing Pidge,
Thanks.
Scrape,
Thank you.
and Mendax.
I'm amazingly hot and sweaty.
Yes, you are. See you soon.
Bye.
Prequel, Sequel, Requel is a panel show where we take a film, give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel. A requel being a reboot or remake, whether it's a good idea or not. Join host Chris Lum and panelists Natalie Smeaton, Phil Smith, and Eddie French, as well as special guests as we strengthen canons left, right, and centre. Search Prequel, Sequel, Requel on Facebook and watch every week as films as varied as Top Gun and Spice World are arguably improved, and you, the audience at home, get to vote on who had the best idea. We'll see you soon.
We hope that you're enjoying this episode of the Firebreathing Kittens podcast. Please leave us a review on iTunes.com. You can subscribe to receive new episodes through your podcast player or by visiting firebreathingkittenspodcast.com or finding us on YouTube. Can you think of someone who might enjoy this podcast? Please share it with them. We don't pay to advertise this show, so the only way we can grow is through the support of listeners like you. Thank you.
Popped Culture is an online panel show where comedians give back and improve the culture with their ideas. Join host Eddie French as he leads the teams through the murky world of celebrity gossip, new innovations in cultural phenomena, and play some games with some of the UK's comedy scene. Regular team captains Chris Lum and Tom King will be joined by special guests as we try to improve this new normal that everyone's talking about. Watch on Eddie French's official Facebook page or search for Popped Culture events on Facebook.
And welcome back, Pidge.
Hi.
Mendax.
My name is Mendax, and I'm here to say I probably shouldn't rap for the rest of the day.
And Scrape.
How do you do?
Right, so when we left off, the bus you were on with all these young teenagers who were heading to their talent competition had been abruptly halted by this black cloud that had kind of surrounded the bus and obscured the sky as you were kind of surrounded on all sides by this black smoke. And what you see happen is as you're kind of all on the bus, settling yourself and recovering from this big hit that the bus took, you see that a little bit whiffed of smoke kind of launches itself at the bus and quickly kind of pushes the bus and shakes it and breaks a window. So just kind of like this one like smoky arm that kind of launches from the sky and breaks one of the window as it hits on the bus. And I'd like everyone to roll initiative, please. But this actually will be a skill challenge, because this is a threat that that is not actually a monster. The skill challenge will be to defend the bus however you want.
17 in total.
Nat 20. I love burning them on this.
Nice.
All right. So Pidge, you had a nat 20, and Mendax?
8.
8. Great. So Pidge, you are the first to act. You're still on the bus, sitting next to Velda, the half-orc wizard, and you just saw this one window got broken open by this kind of plume of smoke outside. And what would you like to do in order to defend the bus?
Smoke seems like it can be blown away with wind. I cast the 5th level spell Control Winds, which is quite high level. I have no more 5th level spell slots. And Control Winds is that I can take control of the air in a 100-foot cube that I can see within range. Choose one of the following effects. It lasts for the spell's duration, which is 1 hour.
Yep.
All right. I can do gusts, I can do downdraft, and I can do updraft. I'm going to do gusts because I can choose the intensity of the wind, calm, moderate, or strong. I choose strong. If the wind is moderate or strong, it's so strong that a ranged weapon attack that enters or leaves this cube or passes through it will have disadvantage. It's strong enough to blow away arrows.
Right.
If the wind is strong, any creature moving against the wind must spend an extra 1 foot of movement for each foot moved. It'll almost blow away people. And I use this Control Winds and probably an Arcana skill check roll to try to blow the smoke away.
All right, so roll your Arcana, please.
28.
28, very good. So as you cast the spell, so you start commanding the winds to affect the smoke outside. You start pushing it around and try to move the smoke around. I'm picturing a lot of like airbender movements as you try to battle the smoke. And you realize that, you seem to be doing a good job. As you're moving the smoke, you realize that this sort of like big cloud that surrounds the bus seems to be moving very quickly, but your controlling of the winds is able to kind of efficiently protect like a good half of the bus, where like the smoke seems to not be able to kind of move to like, let's say, the right side of the bus. You still have some clouds coming in from above, some coming from the other side, but you seem to have hit a pretty good chunk of the smoke outside. Scrape, it is your turn.
He decides that he's going to cast thaumaturgy in order to speak, because now the wind's getting up and the smoke, there's probably a lot of panic and confusion. So he can make his voice loud enough to try and convince all the students on the bus to cool out their jets, head down, brace, and make themselves less of a target and cover themselves up.
All right, so you're using thaumaturgy to kind of increase the sound of your voice. What skill would you be? Yeah. What skill would you be using to get them to calm down? Would that be like a persuasion?
Probably persuasion, yes.
All right, then roll that, please.
Okay. So I'm proficient. That's 5 plus 8.
So that's 8 total?
5 plus 8. So that's 13.
Oh, okay. 13. Cool. So you try to get them to calm down. You stand up. Your voice booms across the bus, but you realize that you were still trying to impress the tiefling boys, and it comes out in infernal once again. So you start screaming.
What does that sound like?
and that means it's all going to be okay, kids. Don't you worry. Uncle Scrape is here. Nothing to be feared about.
And what you see is, as the 4 tiefling boys kind of quickly like put their head between their knees, head like arms above the head, getting ready for impact, all the other students kind of freak out. They stand up like, what? And you see one of these plume of smoke kind of quickly throw itself through the bus and grab hold of Jimmy the puppeteer and pull him out into the black cloud.
Great. Very quick, he says, that wasn't me. I didn't tell him to do that. But I imagine it's lost under a load of screaming and wind.
Mendax, what do you do?
I look out of the window at the quickly retreating back of Jimmy the puppet boy and smile briefly to myself and go, yeah, this is a good day. But then more practically, I think he would probably just yell at the smoke. It's like, yo, dude, that is not righteous one bit. If you don't mind me asking, would you just mind shutting up?
I'm sorry,
intimidation?
I didn't hear that. Okay, so you're trying to intimidate the smoke? That's fine. So roll your intimidation, please.
In the metagame, I was yelling, would you mind just sodding off?
Oh, okay.
But yes. So, intimidation... And that would be a 21.
21, all right. So you throw your intimidation. You throw your intimidation at the smoke, not exactly knowing where the threat comes from. But you feel pretty confident that your voice was very commanding. Like for somebody who's had a few like average performances earlier, you feel very confident about what you've just done. Good job, Mendax. And Pidge, we're back at you.
I'd like to do a history check to see if I know anything about smoke monsters. Like, have I ever heard of smoke monsters before? So I roll, all right, 22.
Okay.
To see if I know anything about smoke monsters.
Okay, so you start thinking about smoke monsters themselves, or like what you would have read about manifestations like this. Right now, you're not exactly able to see kind of the threat itself, so like identifying what it is would be hard, but you know, these are clearly symptoms of a manifestation. And your realization as you succeed on the history check is that sometimes like higher levels of possessions, either demonic or undead, can manifest themselves in these way. So you think like, maybe like what this leads you to is like, okay, maybe something or someone is haunted, and maybe this would be a manifestation of that.
Oh, okay. I definitely tell my friends that because that's not something that they would know. So I'm like, smoke could be that someone is haunted.
You scream
Mendax
over the...
and I'm sharing that information. Like,
all right, so you scream that out loud over the, over your big tornado that you still created around the bus. Scrape, it is your turn.
Scrape, upon hearing this haunted business, thinks some detect magic is in order.
All right, so you're going to cast detect magic?
Please.
All right, so use it to activate. You activate your detect magic, and because you still need to use a skill, please roll a perception. If your spellcasting modifier is better than your wisdom, you can apply that. Because you've used detect magic, it's your spell.
Yeah. There's my spell modifier. What does that live?
It would be charisma.
Charisma. Beg your pardon. Yep. Oh, it is much better. Total 18.
18, great. So I don't exactly know how your detect magic acts for you, but like your eyes light up or something as you kind of pierce through the veils and start looking at magics. And you notice a few different things. Outside of you guys who are all equipped with different types of magics, you see a few of the students carry magics with themselves. Cheryl Dro, the Drow girl with the big bushy hair and the poncho, like her poncho lights up completely and you notice magic right away. One of the tiefling boys, because he's got his hands raised above his head, you notice one of his rings is glowing. The gnomish girls, alchemical romance, all seem to be carrying some little bits of magics themselves. There is magic coming from Jimmy's puppet case, who remained on his seat as he was dragged out of the bus.
Oh,
and finally,
like their shoes after they get. Have you ever seen a person like instantly killed by a collision and their body's like flung like 50 feet away in a second, and their shoes stay there?
Oh, the Stephen King smoking boot.
Yeah,
exactly.
The smoking
boots.
And the last thing you notice is the half-orc girl Velda. You notice that her hat, like that big old hat that she wears, it seems to be glowing with. Because detect magic allows you to identify schools of magic as well. The hat is glowing with necrotic magic.
Oh gosh!
As you've cast this detect magic. Good job, Scrape, and it is Mendax's turn.
Yes, it is. Okay, hear me out. Which is always a good way of starting with these.
Yeah.
Okay, so running off the information that Pidge provides that all this smoke could be kind of like some kind of possession, Mendax is going to attempt the most ambitious religion check ever performed. But because he knows nothing of any sort of religion, he's going to try and convince the smoke that he does know stuff about religion and just happen to come across the correct series of words to make it leave. So, what I put to you is that it's a deception check. Okay,
so you want to roll the deception, but kind of pretend that it's like a religious exorcism or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to improvise an exorcism.
Okay, all right, roll your deception.
Yes, please. Hang on. Hello. This is going to go fun. That's a 31.
31?
Birds.
Birds, baby.
All right. So you see,
I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arno. Your dark fire will not avail you, flame of Unun.
Wow, he knows the speech. So as you're standing on the bus, you see
cannot pass.
So you see all these things happen as you're still on the bus, and you see one of these kind of arms of smoke kind of reach for a student right away, trying to grab one of the three feathers, and you're like,
"That's okay."
And imitating the only cleric you've ever seen, you kind of position your hands as you're trying to get it to turn, and for a moment it looks like the smoke is hesitating, and it retracts and moves away, leaving the three feathers unharmed and still on the bus. Good job. And Pidge, it is your turn once again.
While everyone is distracted and they think I'm working on the winds, but like I'm actually real good at being a wizard. I'm level 12. I don't need to it's just a concentration, so I can like do other stuff.
Yeah.
So I pretend like I'm still.
It's a wizard thing. You wouldn't understand.
So I'm still doing these winds, but I'm actually using my movement around the bus to airbend winds to investigate the book bags of all of the students, because I think that someone here is the killer. So I'm like airbending, but I don't actually have to do anything to airbend at this point. I just have to remain. I don't have, it's a concentration spell.
Yeah, you can just maintain that tornado and still do other things. No problem.
So I'm actually investigating, not sneakily. People can tell that I'm investigating, but they're probably distracted. So
yeah, there's a lot going on and they're panicking. So roll your investigation, please.
Okay, that's a 13 to just be like, what's in your bag? I'm trying to rule out the killer. Or
13?
Yeah, get clues about. I'm probably not sneaky.
All right. So you try to like look into people's bags very quickly, trying to find a source or an explanation. And as you kind of get to Cheryl's bag, Cheryl Dro stands up because she sees you and she's like, "What are you doing?" And because she stands up, she's exposed. And one of these smoke arms kind of reaches into the bus and pulls Cheryl Dro out of the bus.
Does it leave her bag behind?
It does leave her bag behind.
So this is the contortionist with the constellation poncho?
Yeah.
So we've lost 2 children, you guys.
Two children so far.
Yeah.
So far.
What's our threshold for acceptable losses on this mission?
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys, so I'm not going to tell you. Scrape, it's your turn.
Oh.
So there is a number.
Yeah, it's a skill challenge, so you have a number of successes you need to get to.
Did I rule out her book bag for containing suspicious items?
That was still a failure on your investigation check, so
okay.
It's anyone's guess. Scrape, it's your turn.
Okay, so we're playing by Lemmings rules. So many of them have to make it through the door. Scrape is on the horns of a dilemma, which is no pun related to his race, but the puppet case and Felder's necrotic hat both caught his attention as being unusual because the smoke immediately went for Jimmy, and necrotic magic is one of the less favoured magics on account of the fact that it's called necrotic magic. So you just don't want that knocking about, especially in something you're going to put on your head. So I think he makes a leap for the puppet case and checks it out a bit more, because obviously Jimmy was quite protective when, unsurprisingly, when Mendax was begging about with his sock. So gonna see if there's any reason that Jimmy was the first one to get grabbed by having a look at the magic source from the case, whether it's the puppet or something that he shouldn't have.
All right, I forgot to mention, and I should have, because Detect Magic allows you to see schools of magic, you would have noticed that the glow on the puppet case is abjuration, which is protection magic.
Okay.
It kind of glows like in my head. Abjuration is yellow, so it kind of glows with this like goldeny yellow color.
Oh, okay.
And as you get to it, you realize, like some big briefcases have like little dials, like that you're supposed to like tap in numbers for them to open.
Oh yeah.
This one only has 3 buttons. One is blue, one is yellow, and one is red.
He presses the yellow button.
All right. You press the yellow button and you take 7 lightning damage as you just press that button, and it shocks you really quickly. Just
Zap.
a little.
Well, that was to be expected.
All right, so that'll finish your turn. Wait, I still need to ask you for. I still need to ask you for a skill. It's a skill challenge.
Right.
So once you've been shocked, what skill do you use to try and fix the situation? And also, I guess, if you want to use like a tool or something, that would work as well. I don't know if that's something that applies to you, but if you want to try that, since you were like holding the case and stuff, maybe you want to try something like that.
I don't really have any tools, but I suppose an acrobatics check to stop myself from getting knocked over by the force of the shock.
All right, so roll your acrobatics.
15 total.
15, that'll be just enough.
Okay.
So as you do your acrobatics check, you kind of take a step back as you take the shock from the suitcase, and with that acrobatics, you realize that one of the tiefling boys is about to be pulled out from the bus, but in that same cartwheel that you're doing to get out of the suitcase, you're able to grab him by the ankle and pull him back on the bus, and
That's
he's
so
fine.
cool.
And Mendax, it is your turn.
Oh. I have an idea. Can I
hate it when Mendax says that.
Can I cast Layman's Tiny Hut?
That takes a little bit more than an action, though. Isn't that like a 1 minute casting time?
It does take a minute.
Yeah.
So,
in this case, because it's a skill
so
challenge.
the answer
but
is probably no.
probably no. Like these turns are still 6 seconds, so
That is absolutely fine. I will make something else up. Well, let's see. Pidge seems to know what she's doing, so can I use my bardic inspiration to kind of help her out and just kind of give some words of encouragement?
of course, if you want to throw her an inspiration, that's great.
Yeah, I think... Hang on, let's find it. So, Pidge will get a D10 for adding onto an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw of her choice.
Whoa. Good, because I don't have many skills.
And that was a bonus action. Do you still want to try and roll a skill?
Yeah, sure, why not? It sounds like fun. I'm going to try and batten down Professor Indigo with animal handling.
Okay.
I gotcha.
I will let you roll.
I got you,
Letting
kitty cat.
know, he is still a humanoid, so the DC is very high, but you can try.
I mean, there's no human handling skill. What else would you go?
True.
I mean, there are a lot of other social skills, just throwing that out there.
I'm diving on top of a cat man. It's not really
right.
social. Anyways, let's go. Oh, hello. Unnatural 20.
Of course. So, Professor Indigo kind of starting to like half screaming, half meowing at the students, trying to figure out what's happening. And there is this moment of like, I hired this protection. Why have 2 students fly out of the bus? And he is panicking like crazy, kind of arching his back, going, and you just give him a big old slap in the face, like, get over yourself. And he calms down.
No, that's not the way of doing it.
What do you do?
If a cat's freaking out, you just kind of like hold out your hand, let them sniff it, and then just kind of give them a little stroke, just kind of until the tail goes down, until they start to kind of, start calming down.
Better. So you start giving comfort to
And I provide treats.
to Professor Indigo as
Cookies.
treats. Yeah, and I mean he's still distracted by his tail, by the way. So like there is this weird thing for Professor Indigo going on, but good job on that animal handling. And Pidge, it is your turn.
Who expected it? Not me.
All right, you know what no one expects? When you have plus 10 to something, it's like having another skill, like acrobatics or athletics. So I dive out of the broken window after the drow, Cheryl Drow,
Yeah.
and I roll with a dice, and I guess I add my normal acrobatics, which is +1, right?
Yeah, so you roll
Okay.
d20 with your +1, and then you can add, like, you can also keep the inspiration if you don't want to add it. Like, you can roll and then decide, I want to add this die to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Cheryl's
can
worth it.
use it after seeing the number you rolled, but not after knowing the result.
Yeah. So as long as I didn't say you succeeded or not, which in our format works well because I don't see the numbers you roll, so that's great.
I apply a 26 acrobatics to try to retrieve poor Cheryl Drow as she is yanked out of the window.
All right, so acrobatics in the gymnast move that you have not done often, I would assume. You throw yourself out of a window, cartwheel on the ground, start running. There's a little bit of like jump across bushes as you kind of leave the bus and start running into the trees and into the smoke. And finally, still being pulled by the smoke, you see the ankles of Cheryl just a few feet above the ground, and you are able to catch that ankle and pull her down in an impressive physical feat for you. And you manage to retrieve her from the smoke as you pull her to the ground. And so that was a success. And following this, because you're still concentrating on your tornado, as this moment you pull it down, and your tornado is still kind of manifesting around the bus, and you realize that your control wind spell is finally able to kind of get rid of that remaining smoke. And this concludes the skill challenge.
Woo!
So you got your
I then look very surprised at myself. I'm like, what?
Hey, it happens. It's it's the magic of bards. You were inspired.
Yay, bards. I was like, I was so inspired. And then I lay on the ground.
All right, you've managed to keep the bus safe. What you realize, because you got to her in time, so you kind of gather yourself. Everybody kind of stands up in the bus, cleaning themselves. Pidge, you're outside the bus at this point, having just caught Cheryl. And I forgot to roll for her, but you got her in time. So, oh no, ooh. Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of constitution. She's kind of a hippie, so she's completely knocked out as you get to her.
Oh no! I'll feed her a health potion.
Not that hippies don't have constitution, but yeah, she's knocked out.
I feed her a greater healing potion.
All right, you feed her a potion, and you see that after a moment, like as she regains hit points, you see that she kind of comes back to herself, and she just, adjust her sunglasses, and she's like, "Hey, what happened?
Back to the bus, quickly!"
All right. So you bring Cheryl back to the bus. Scrape and Mendax, what would you like to do as you see the smoke kind of dissipate and disappear?
Great. Turns to the people, the students still on the bus, and demands now if anyone inquires as to whether anyone is injured and who is missing. Because everything happened in quite a lick, so make sure if there are any severe injuries that they're looked after, etc.
Yeah, sure. Most of the students seem fine, shaken more than hurt.
Okay.
Like the bus was shaken, but like no major injuries at all. And the only one missing is Jimmy, who, as you look on the other side of the bus, so like Pidge kind of jumped out on one side, but on the other side where Jimmy was kind of pulled out of, you see that about 40-50 feet away is Jimmy's body laying on the ground.
Oh no. Oh no. Do I see that? Does Pidge see that?
You're still bringing Cheryl to the bus, but like after a few moments you would be made aware of that.
I rush to the downed child with a potion.
All right, and you feed him a potion?
Yeah, well, is he dead? Like,
you can roll. You can roll the medicine.
Oh,
right.
My friends, come with me. There's a dying child.
You're out of the skill challenge.
What did you say? 50 feet away, right?
Yeah, about.
From the bus, I just kind of point in his direction and cast Healing Word.
Oh. Sure.
Because there's a range of 60 feet.
Well, look at that. So you can roll your healing for the healing word?
Yep. 7 hit points.
Okay.
I like how you're so far away from him, like you don't want him to know this was you. Like you still want him to be afraid of you.
Just kind of lazily, just kind of point my hand behind my back and just kind of go, pew.
Yeah.
No one wants to be friends with the ventriloquist, but we don't necessarily want them to die either. So, you don't want to get them too friendly.
So you send the healing to the boy, and so I'm assuming like you're on the bus. You send the healing word. Pidge is still running towards the child at this point. You realize that your magic did work. Like, he did regain hit points, but he still lays down on the ground. And Pidge, as you get there, you realize he's completely immobile, kind of.
The DM is making a face, listeners.
Yeah.
It looks like the face in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that, like, the children and the cats are making.
Yeah, a little bit. So he seems completely catatonic, kind of frozen there.
But in a silent scream.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch him because I don't have medicine skills. What can I do other than like, accidentally step on this kid?
And he's weird.
So I guess I gather my friends. Mendax! Scrape!
What?
Come here!
Why?
Okay.
Scrape makes his way over to find out what's going on.
Yeah, and you arrive to the scene moments later where you see kind of Pidge next to the boy that she doesn't want to touch, who's completely immobile on the ground.
Yes, now, let me see. Mage Hand's not strong enough to carry him, is it?
Not unless he weighs 10 pounds.
I mean, he's
scrawny, but yeah.
He's a small, like two people, even that don't have that high of a strength score, might be able to bring it back to the bus. Like,
oh, well, you don't want to move people when they're injured, right? Like, isn't that a thing? Pidge doesn't know anything about medicine, so she's like, I don't.
At the risk of repeating himself, Scrape thinks detect magic would be good because you need to know whether what's happened to this guy. Was he frightened solid, or is there something more arcane at work?
Right. You had casted detect magic before, and like it hasn't been 10 minutes, so I'm not going to need you to cast it again.
Right.
However, you did take damage, so just in case, can you please roll concentration on that detect magic?
Concentration.
And you took 7 damage. You just need to roll a 10.
A 10 on a d20.
Yeah, it's a Constitution save, so you add your Constitution modifier. And I think you're a sorcerer, so you would add your proficiency to that. Like it's a con save.
Okay. And I need to score a 10.
Yeah.
What's the proficiency? What's that?
Proficiency.
Oh, 4. There we go. Yeah. So a 12 in total.
Oh, okay. So you still have your detect magic. You get there. Okay. He's not glowing with magic himself. He seems like he's under some sort of magical effect, and you kind of get traces of that. It still seems a little bit necrotic. Getting a little bit further than that into kind of understanding what happened, that we need a little bit more than a detect magic.
Okay. Yeah, it might be an idea to not touch him directly because the kid got a slight whiff of necrosis about him. I'm not impressed, but
necrotic magic, you say?
I say that exactly.
Does anything else here have necrotic energy?
It does. Your best friend's hat.
Oh, hats. Hats can be more than they appear, can't they? And didn't she say she was the granddaughter of Anna Hataway?
Well, you'd know better than I. I was just hanging out with the cool kids. To be honest, I don't know what you were doing.
Pidge and Scrape whisper to one another secretly, and Mendax looks from 50 feet away.
Yep.
Mendax looks on, idly chewing another bit of snack he's found about his person, I imagine.
So as you're having that conversation, Mendax, is there anything else you'd like to do on the bus?
I would like to investigate this here puppet box.
Right. So while you're
still hanging around.
Yeah. So while Pidge and Scrape are having this discussion about necrotic energies, you walk to the box and you see exactly what Scrape saw before. It's a big puppet case and it has 3 buttons. One is blue, one is yellow, and one is red.
I kick the case.
You just kick it?
I just kick it.
It flies across the room, or like a few feet.
Interesting.
Would you like to try anything else, or was that the kick?
Well, if I had the spell magic, then I would cast it, but I can't, but I don't, so I don't. Anything fun I can do with it, rather than just kicking it further. Can I just do an investigation on it?
Sure. If you want to try and
Just to see if there's kind of
understand how it works a bit.
yeah, because if magical ventriloquy is kind of commonplace in the performing arts world, then perhaps I've seen something similar to this beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, yeah, you can roll your investigation, or you can roll Arcana as well if you prefer.
Well, both of them are a +2, so I don't think it matters so much.
Okay.
So
You need a
is
Pidge.
I need a Pidge because that is a 12.
Oh.
12. I mean, it's kind of obvious that this mechanism is made to keep the box closed, and I mean, with that number, you just realize, like, okay, maybe the buttons are made to kind of be pushed a certain way in order to kind of open the box. But that's kind of the obvious things. Like with the 12, this is what you would realize.
Okay, so he pulls out his journal and goes, buttons made to be pushed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
All right, and at this point,
I need a Pidge.
Yeah, at this point, Pidge and Scrape, would you like to get back on the bus?
Yes. And I would like to go back to my former seat across from the granddaughter of Anna Hathaway.
Okay. You see her kind of... Yeah?
Scrape is going to remember that whilst the catatonic, fear-faced children, this is not the first one he's heard of today. Remember that Clara, was it? Clara was successfully moved to her home, so picking up the boy is probably not too big a risk, which he willingly takes and brings the body back, because I'm not walking another 100 feet just to try out the next theory on it. So we'll just bring him back to the bus and
All right, you bring him back on the bus. You see, like, there are some like and some whispers as you kind of walk into the bus with the body of
Scrape
Jimmy.
carries the limp form of Jimmy.
yeah.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a moment of panic, and you see the first thing you see is like Professor Indigo kind of rushes over and like, what happened? You'll be able to fix it, right? This should not have happened. And he sees behind himself and also distracted by his tail.
I inquire as to whether this is reminiscent of Kara's state. I can't recall if he said he witnessed this or just heard.
He wasn't there himself, but he would confirm that. Yeah, it sounds exactly like what happened to her.
Right. So Scrape asserts in his best fireside detective manner that it's very likely that Kara's current situation and that of Jimmy the odd boy are very, very similar, too similar for it, in fact, to be a coincidence, and that things are not coincidental, and therefore, if anyone knows anything about what's going on, if they could please give us a hand. We understand if you're frightened, etc. I think it's going to be a persuasion. Try to encourage anyone who knows. He makes sure that he adds a bit in the tiefling tongue, saying that don't worry, it's not snitching. It's just stuff, bad stuff happens. So tries to get any info or tries to use the limp body of their friend as they bargain it as a sort of a emotional bargaining chip.
He
just shakes it in their face and goes, "Look at it! Look at it!"
Yeah.
So
don't look down.
Well, you're also giving them the information that Clara is unconscious as well. So if anything, if you're intimidating them, that quite adds to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look into his cold, dead eyes.
At this point, I'll let you choose persuasion or intimidation if you want to get a reaction out of them.
Persuasion, please, because I've got proficiency in that.
Great.
24.
So as you say this, because you had been building a relationship with them, you see one of the tiefling boys kind of rises from his seat. Larry Tiles is his name.
Tiles.
And as he stands from his seat, you see him kind of, like, he's a little bit kind of trying to be assertive, but he's clearly very shaken, and no matter how much he wants to look like a bad boy, it's clear that he isn't. But he kind of points toward Velda very quickly, and he thinks, it has to be her. She knew she was gonna fail, and she tried to get us to lose the competition before we started.
Can I react to that?
Yes, of course.
I'm going to stand up in front of Velda and defend her. So I block the view from Velda, and I say, persuasion's probably my best bet. I'd like everyone to please settle down. I tap my hat, and I drop the affectation of being a human. I'm a rock
Everybody
gnome.
gasp.
I'm here. I hold up my left palm where on the back of my hand there's a fire-breathing kitten on a shield. And I say, please, no accusations of each other. I respect what you are saying, and I will question each of you individually. We can start with Velda, but let's all stay civil amongst ourselves. Let's not attack each other. Velda, I know you didn't do anything wrong. Let's all one by one question each of the students. And I hope that you'll come with me. I'm going to try to lead her away from the bus and the other students and say, Mendax, Scrape, come along. Like, please come with me. Please come with me. Please come with me.
I reach for my sock. This is going to be fun.
Scrape thanks the boy for stepping forward and says, we will speak to all of you. Like my colleague says, I'm sure things aren't how they appear right now, but obviously we need to get this sorted. So everyone, think good, think long, think hard about anything that help us, because two of your friends are in a great deal of danger, and petty differences or what have you play no role in something important like this. And then he sort of does two fingers to his eyes so that everyone else is lets know that it's on.
All right.
Is Velda following us?
Oh yeah, like she's she's clearly intimidated and she sees that, and there's a little bit of a but yes, if you want to get her off the bus, she's not gonna resist.
I tap my hat again so that I look like her friend.
Okay.
And I say, I was sent here to protect you. I am on your side, and I just want everyone to be safe today. And I'm trying to get her away from the bus as I'm talking.
Okay.
Like 150 feet away.
Okay. So you make this conversation and you kind of head back into the woods a little bit further away from the bus. Mendax and Scrip, are you following too?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank goodness, because Pidge is not good at combats.
Scrape flings up some, he does the little cantrip of dancing lights to try and make it a little less intense and frightening, tries to sort of...
bit of mood lighting.
Lighten the mood, yes, thank you. Mood lighting, exactly that.
Great. So you bring her outside and you can tell she's a little bit worried, and like she's got her big hat and like she takes it off, and like you can see like she's kind of, like just fidgeting with her hat. And she's like, I don't know what happened. I was so scary, but like I didn't do anything. It's not me.
I run forward and I give her a hug. Sleight of hand. I want to take her hat.
All right. So roll that sleight of hand, please.
Oh man, you guys, I'm not good at this. 7 as I try to like give her a hug and I accidentally smack her in the face.
All right. So this is going to be a contest, just to see. No. It's versus her perception, just to see if she notices you kind of grabbing it away, and she's very distraught. And I mean, you don't need to look at her stat block, but it's terrible. And
this is probably going to get more than a 7.
How much did you roll?
7.
8? 7?
I'm not a sleight of hand character.
She got a 7, but -1 perception. So you managed to get the hat.
Oh, teenagers, you're the worst.
By punching her in the face as she didn't notice.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah, so you managed to get the hat from her hands very quickly.
Okay, dash action. I want to dash away from her.
Okay. Hey, what are you doing? That's my grandmother's hat.
Stay there. It's not safe. Stay there. And I frisbee the hat another 50 feet.
All right.
Scrape resists the urge to get his crossbow out and try and plant one straight through the crown.
All right. So as you throw the hat, I'm going to need you to roll an athletics,
Oh no.
and that's just to see how far you can throw it.
Nat 20.
All right.
This is Pidge's day.
This is
So,
some top Pidge right
Pidges,
here.
kind of crumbling the hat into a little ball, raising a knee, throws it like a baseball, and I always pictured Pidge as somebody who like has never watched sports in her entire life.
Not once.
And yet, any sports fan would be like, "Wow, she's got quite the arm." And
but it's just fear driven. Like I'm just
for sure. And you do manage to throw the hat about 50 feet away, as you wanted. The hat kind of floats into the air, and as it is close to landing on the ground, it kind of stops midway in the air, kind of just hovering in the air.
About 5 feet up?
No, 50 feet. Like you rolled your nat 20.
Right,
like it is 50 feet
from
away.
off of the ground, is it like 5 feet up as if it's on an invisible person?
Kind of. But actually you do see that person appear as kind of black smoke once again starts pouring out from the hat.
Called it!
And kind of quickly takes the form of this lady, and you see like the resemblance is uncanny. You see this like large half-orc woman all dressed in like witches and wizard robes. It's all kind of smoky in terms of appearance, except for the hat that is very present. But she kind of floats there for a moment and quickly look at Velda and quickly looks at all of you and, "Oh, child, you are such a disappointment."
Don't be mean to Velda.
Roll initiative, please.
I thought so.
17 total.
9.
20.
20. All right. Let's go to 20.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna fight a hat ghost.
All right, so Mendax, you go first. All right, Mendax, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast perhaps my favorite second level spell, Silence.
Okay.
So let me just read you through it because it does not require any rolls from anyone. Okay, so the range on this is 120 feet, so I'm well within range. So for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes, for the duration, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range, so directly on top of her.
Okay.
Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while entirely inside it. Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible there.
Right. So you just cast silence, and there is no save, right? It's just you created the zone, and there it is.
It's this zone of eerie silence.
All right, so you hear her, like, she's still kind of throwing insults at Velda, trying to get her, like, "You're such a disappointment, child. Terrible magician, and you will never..." And then you see her mouth continue to move as she's still throwing these insults, but no sound reach you guys.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use my movement just to kind of, like, run around the side and start kind of spreading out.
All right, cool. So you take a little bit of distance from the other.
Yeah.
Scrape, it's your turn. Or did you want to use a bonus action as well?
Can I use one to flip her off?
Oh, of course. So
I do that.
You flip her off. Scrape, it's your turn.
Great. Spreads out a little bit as well, just to make things a bit wider, and then wangs a fireball right at the cat and shadowy fog business.
All right. She's 50 feet away, so yeah, you'd be able to throw it.
150 feet for fireball.
Yeah, and the radius is like small enough that you would be able to like throw it and not hit
20
you guys.
foot.
Yeah, great. So she has to roll a dex save, and please roll your damage.
Damage, which is my spell. Spell save from me is 16.
Yeah, she failed that.
You failed
so
that,
you can roll.
so 8d6, I think.
Yeah.
3, 6, 1, 15 so far.
Okay.
18 so far. 22, 27, 30.
30 round fire damage on Grandma.
Well, now that just sounds like I'm being unpleasant. When she was Smoky Hat Monster, that sounded a lot better. But now just burning Grandma.
Smoke hand at away. That's fine.
Okay.
Pidge, it is your turn.
So Pidge is... What's everybody's distances? Like, I threw it 50 feet further, so it's 200 feet from the bus.
Yeah, about 200 feet from the bus. You are still you'd been melee range.
I'm 150 feet because I threw it 50. I ran. So I dashed and then I threw. So it's actually 35 plus 35. So that's 70 plus 50 away from the bus. So hopefully Grandma ain't going to get the bus because she's 220 feet away from the bus.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm 50 feet from her. So my friends were like fully 70 plus 50 feet away from Grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm protecting my squishy friends as I polymorph using a 4th level spell into a giant ape.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I use a spell on myself. I take from my fanny pack a caterpillar cocoon and I eat it because why not? And I eat that caterpillar cocoon and I turn into a giant ape who is 50 feet away from this smoke monster Grandma. And hopefully the target of its attacks, as I would like to taunt it and make for it. And I'm going to enter. Well, I can't. Can I polymorph and then move?
Yeah, you still can use your movement, but not.
Okay, so I'm going to enter. Since you
polymorph first, you can use the movement that the ape has, which I don't know if it's better than yours, but you can use that.
Okay, I can enter melee range with her then, because I can move 40 feet and my melee range is 10 feet. So I can get into melee range with her. And that way, if she tries to get closer to my friend, I can make an attack of opportunity against her as she tries to move past me. So that's my plan is I'm going to try to tank this ghost Grandma. And on my next turn, I'll follow her and attack her if she tries to leave my proximity. As Pidge becomes the tank for the group.
All right. So Pidge runs forward and kind of...
I turn into a giant ape. King Kong. I scream my possession of her, mine. And then I enter melee with her. I can't attack her because I already used my action for this turn, but I'm gonna.
All right. So you enter melee range. You enter melee range with her as it is her turn.
Yeah.
And you see her you're still 10 feet away, but that's your reach, so that's fine. And you see her quickly kind of extend her arms and more of these tendrils of smoke kind of pour out from all sides of her body. Like they kind of come out of her robes and her hair starts kind of flowing in the air.
Is she casting a spell in melee range?
She is not casting a spell.
Ah, darn.
And you see that these smoke arms start attacking you. So the first one is going to go for Pidge. And Pidge, what is your AC as an ape?
12. Higher than my wizard AC.
12. So she manages to hit you with this smoke attack. And you take... So that's 6, 9, 10. You take 14... Oh, wait, no, that's not it at all. You don't take damage at all. You are grappled. So this thing just lunges at you and kind of wraps itself around your arm, and you find yourself...
Can she grapple a huge beast? Because I'm huge-sized. I think grappling only applies to... Oh.
No,
oh man, this is like Godzilla versus Mothra. Like two very large, the smoke monster, the giant ape.
She can grapple you. And then you see 2 more of these tendrils launch right away. So I'm trying to picture, because Mendax, you said you had run away from the group, and
I'd kind of gone around the outskirts, kind of, in a...
Okay, so in that case, you would still be within... Yeah, so you would still be within range from her, and you see one of these tendrils go for you as well. Oh yeah, she got range.
Boy.
What is your AC?
My AC, I believe, is 16.
Okay.
But if it's a melee attack, you have disadvantage because I have a cloak of displacement.
Oh, and right. So
was
anyway,
the smoke reaching past me?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I looked up grappling. My speed becomes 0, and I can't benefit from any bonus to my speed, but I still can make reactions.
Yep.
So I can still attack that smoke tendril as it reaches past me, right? And goes for Mendax? Because I still have my reaction, right?
Yeah, but it's not like the tendril is moving, but it didn't exit your range. So like it's not an opportunity attack in this case. It just kind of moved into the other direction.
Oh, okay.
So like she's just holding you guys with these tendrils thing. Mendax, she missed you with this hit, so she was not able to get you guys.
Yeah.
And because you had dashed and then threw the hat, it means she's too far to try and grab Scrape and Velda, who are still a little bit further back. And that finishes her turn. Mendax, it is your turn again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is gonna be fun. I think, strictly speaking, I need to kind of go a bit closer because the range on this is only 30 feet.
Yeah.
But if this works, it will be pretty hilarious. So, I'm going to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance.
I love the title, but can you please read it to me?
So we start off by you making a Wisdom 17 saving throw, please.
Okay. Let's see if she can do that. You said 17?
17.
16. Yeah. So it takes.
Okay, in the interest of fairness, I should probably ask you if whether Granny is immune to being charmed.
She is not. So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It very much takes.
Oh, okay.
Grandmas can fall in love.
Choose one creature that you can see within range. The target begins a comic dance in place, shuffling, tapping its feet, and capering for the duration.
Yeah.
It says creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. A dancing creature must use all its movement to dance without leaving its space and has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws and attack rolls.
Okay.
While the
Wow.
target is affected by the spell, other creatures have advantage on attack rolls against it.
Whoa.
As an action, the dancing creature makes a wisdom saving throw to regain control of itself.
Okay,
on
so
a
she can
successful
roll as an
saving
action. All right, great.
Huh?
So you see her. She's still trapped in this. By the way, the silence thing, is that concentration, and the irresistible dance, is it?
Oh, hang on. That is an excellent point. Yes, they are both concentration, but I'll stick with the dance because it's funnier.
Yeah, I mean, dance is the second one. So the silence ends. So
yeah,
she had been silent for quite some time, and now the insults start flying out once again. But the insults are strangely rhythmic as she kind of starts moving in a very sort of choreographed manner. Her hair and the tendrils of smoke poking out of the hat kind of just
she's pop and locking.
bobbing. Yeah, pop and locking, moving along, but her face still screams anger as she's being made fun of. And is that all, Mendax?
Or are you going to flip her off again?
No, this time I'm going to use my bonus action to do another bardic inspiration on Ape Pidge.
Okay.
Great.
Oh,
So
I might not need assistance.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because you just gave me advantage to hit, and I'm just going to melee punch her a bunch. I'm a giant ape, so.
yeah, but you can still use the roll on an attack in case you don't want to miss or something. And you can use the roll after.
You can
Yeah,
use it on
right.
your grappled thing because it's ability check, so you can get out.
My
using
strength
that.
is +6, so I'm probably going to ungrapple
You never
myself.
know.
You never know.
And I don't
never
need
know.
speed anyway. If she's grappling me, she's in punching distance. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
You still have the dice if you need it.
you can. Okay, all right. Thank you.
So, Scrape, it is your turn. So you're kind of further back a bit. You're like 60, 70 feet back.
Mhm.
From what I understood. And you're...
I'm
From what I
60, 70 feet away from her. In that case, if we can call it 60, and I move 30 feet towards her, because I intend on casting the cantrip True Strike,
Okay.
which will grant me a brief insight to her defenses.
And it'll give you
gives-
advantage on your X attack.
It does. So I'd like to do that. So I'm gonna strut forward.
just letting you know, don't want to interrupt, but in case you don't want to lose a turn doing your true strike, you do have advantage on attack rolls already because of the dance.
Yeah.
That is
She's
true.
already giving you advantage by
Well,
dancing.
in that case, but Ape Pidge is right there.
Don't worry about me. You can hit me. I can take it.
Because I was thinking of Thunderwave, and that will
It's fine.
bollock you a
I
bit.
went up. I'm not kidding. I went up from 66 hit points to 160 hit points. So
Right, well,
157.
well, I've been shocked today, and so now, so is Ape Pidge, because I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Yeah.
All right, and that's a Constitution save, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 16.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, she's not lucky, Grandma. I failed that save.
Me too. I rolled real low.
Oh dear.
All right, so you
Apes
can
have
roll the
pretty good
die.
constitution, but yeah.
Forgotten what the roll is for the damage.
It depends what level you cast it at.
It is first level.
Okay.
You can
so
cast it.
Yeah, you can upscale it if you want, but if you cast it at first level, then it's 2d8 thunder damage, and both of us will be pushed 10 feet away.
When you cast a spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for each slot level above first.
Yeah. So the range for that the range for that spell itself, though, it's not just from you.
Does it?
Yeah.
In a 15-foot cube around you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm realizing that it's meant to push people away that would be too close.
Oh, right.
So that might not be the best pick in that situation, unless you want to get really close to her.
I don't particularly. I'm just looking at anything else range got, which is.
If you have any like damaging cantrips like Firebolt or something, that'd be.
I do have Firebolt.
Yeah, you can roll
Or
that.
just look at
I'll
your
roll
highest
that.
level spells and choose one that's ranged. Yeah.
Well, I've got Tidal Wave.
What is Tidal Wave? I'm typing that in.
I think it's
It's,
Overkill.
It's the surf Pokemon move.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about killing me because I have 156 hit points. So if you want to overkill her and be awesome, do it. Heck yeah.
I will do the Tidal Wave then. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for it though.
It says your range is 120 feet. You have verbal, somatic, and material components a drop of water.
Mm-hmm.
You conjure up a wave of water that crashes down on an area within range. The area can be up to 30 feet long, up to 10 feet wide, up to 10 feet tall. Each creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 4d8 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
4d8.
All right.
Okay, well that's it's still 16. It was Dex rather than Constitution.
I'll keep the same roll, so I failed.
Okay.
I also failed.
Okay. So that's, what was it, 4d8, was it?
4d8
Okay.
bludgeoning damage.
Okay, well, 5... Ooh. 12... 15... 20. Okay, nice round numbers today.
Nice.
Yeah, we like that. Better math.
I went down to 136 hit points.
Okay, Pidge, you also
And
have to
got
roll
soggy.
You have to roll a concentration save for your polymorph.
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
It's fine. You took 20 damage, so that means that you need to roll 10 or above, and you used your ape's constitution save.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I rolled a 14 on the dice, and my ape's constitution.
Constitution, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're fine. You maintain your ape form.
Okay.
So as kind of Scrape raises his arm, you see a tidal wave show up from nowhere and kind of wash over Ape Pidge and Ape Pidge or
A Pidge.
Pidge Ape. You see this wave kind of wash over her and Grandma. Pidge, because you failed the save, you also fall prone. And you realize that, she's kind of wet. There's water dangling from her hat, but Grandma is immune to prone, so she's still kind of standing, dancing in the water because of that stupid spell.
Looking like an infernal Gene Kelly.
With my speed being 0 feet because I'm grappled, does that mean I can't stand up?
I believe that means you can't.
So I should try to
break.
break grapple first before.
Yeah, you should try to grade the grapple before you stand. You'll need to do that.
All right.
And it is your turn, Pidge. So you're kind of being pinned on the ground by this tendril.
Tidal wave just knocked me over. Okay, so I'm gonna first try to ungrapple myself. Does that mean I roll a strength check?
Bear in mind, you do have bardic inspiration.
Yeah, if you need to.
Good.
So let's see.
So I will use that bardic inspiration.
Yeah, so you can roll the strength check to break yourself from the tendril of smoke. So the way it says on my little stat block thing is a tendril can be broken if a creature takes an action and makes a strength check.
Oh, well,
So
I
you
actually
can use-
don't care if I'm grappled or not. Like, it
Okay.
does give me disadvantage on attacks, but she's currently granting advantage because she's dancing. So I
Yeah.
attack normally. So I was just kind of like,
Okay, and you
I'm
have a
not-
reach of 10 feet with your arm.
yeah.
Okay, so in that case, from the ground, you can try and punch her, and it'll be straight rolls. So you can
Yeah.
get back that inspiration dice because we're gonna rewind back in time.
I'm just going to try to attack her from the ground.
Right, and you would have disadvantage, but you have advantage on her, so it's just a straight roll.
Yeah. They cancel out. So I rolled a 28 to hit and a 17 to hit.
Okay, both. Oh, wait, the 17 doesn't hit, but the 28 very much hits, so you can roll your damage.
My giant ape fist does 23 damage as it punches into her. The other one was going to do
Ooh.
27, so you got lucky, Grandma. I'm on the ground.
That is a heavy punch. You kind of throw this punch, and like she takes it in the abdomen, and she goes. "Rrr."
And at the end of my turn, I'd like to look around to find a rock within grabbing distance of me, which, since my speed is 0 feet, is just a question for the DM. Is there a rock around here?
I mean, it's the forest, so let's go with shore.
Okay.
And
I
that'll
pick
be
it
like
up
your
for my
free.
next turn.
Yeah, that'll be your like free item interaction. You pick up a rock,
I pick up a rock.
and it is her turn. So, as she does this, so Mendax, you are now 30 feet from her, right? You got closer for
Yes, that
the
is correct.
irresistible dance. Okay, and oh right, she has to get break from that dance, right? So that's her action to that wisdom save.
That takes an action, yes.
Okay,
17 to save.
Okay. Oh, she makes it. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
So she stopped dancing and she turns around and she looks at you and she be pissed. But she used her action. So what can she do? She had to use her movement to dance and she lost her action. So yeah, she's kind of stuck there, still holding on to Pidge, and looking pissed and throwing insults at Velda. That finishes her turn. Mendax, it is your turn once again.
It's a shame I can't cast it again. Because I only have the 1 6th level slot. But that would have been fun, wouldn't it? Just kind of, she stops dancing and then I go, hey, guess what? Here it comes.
Put another dime in the jukebox, baby.
Wait. Okay, I am going to cast. Actually, I'm going to back up, a decent way just because I can with this next one. And I'm going to cast Synaptic Static.
Oh, Brain Fireball. Yes.
Brain fireball.
Yes, Synaptic Static. That I call it Brain Fireball because it's a fireball that does psychic damage.
Yeah, it's accurate.
And it's an intelligence save, if I remember, right?
It is, so 17 again.
Oh my god. You should see her stats. Yeah, that's a fail.
Yes. Okay, so straight off the bat, you will take 32 emotional damage.
Oh,
Emotional damage.
That's
how
what I call
it
psychic
too.
damage.
I feel like I wake
side
up with
note,
that every
but-
morning.
Dear listeners who've ever played D&D with me, you know that that's how I call psychic damage too, so I'm very happy. So you throw her a fireball of emotions, twisting her own insults against her as you kind of use your own brain power against hers.
Yeah, you were a disappointment to your parents.
Exactly.
How'd you like it now?
And as you throw this synaptic static affecting her brain and her mentality, she explodes in a poof of emotions,
Whoa.
leaving a broken hat on the ground.
Whoa.
In a burst of angst, she disappears.
And combat is over.
Oh man,
Hooray.
I stand up. I don't drop polymorph, and I look around.
You can roll a perception with your ape senses.
All right. So it's just a 12. I'm just like, I need more ghost hats.
There was only one hat. It's in front of you. It's kind of... It's evident from the way it looks that it has been broken beyond repair.
Oh, I can't mend it together and she can still wear the corpse of the hat ghost?
No.
I'd like to drop polymorph and try to mend it. I have mending.
As you try to cast it, you realize that the hat was a magic item. It was cursed.
Oh, no, I can't mend it.
And as such, it cannot be repaired. Not with the mending spell.
What's it made out of?
It was just like felt, like a very nice fancy felt. It was old, but like it's a very nice wizard hat thing.
Okay. Fancy felt, huh?
Yeah, but now it's like it's been broken. Like it's very damaged.
Okay, so felt is made by taking wool or fabric and like rubbing it a lot, right?
It's leftover bits of wool that can't be spun, and so it gets pulverized. The lanolin matches all together. It's essentially a deliberate dreadlock of sheep hair.
Yes. So with the spell fabricate, I can, as long as I have the materials to make the item, I can fabricate an item. So I take my cloak, which is good fabric, and I pulverize the crap out of it instantly, and felting it, rubbing it like really quickly with my fingers, and I rub my cloak, and I sacrifice my red cloak to make a red hat.
Okay.
And I quickly fabricate her a new replacement hat, identical to the one that died. That's my last cute 4th level spell slot. I also am lacking a cloak.
So you cast Fabricate and you create this new hat, which you see like Velda kind of puts it over her head, and I'm assuming you make it to her size compared to the hat she was wearing before.
Exactly identical to the hat she was wearing before. If it's too large, it's too large.
Okay, so it's a little bit too big still.
And I say, this one's not cursed, Velda.
Oh, thank you. So my hat was cursed? I didn't know that.
I think your real grandma would have wanted you to remember her kindly.
Yeah. I agree. She was a very nice woman.
Yeah, so take this hat to remember the real grandma, not that cursed hat over there. Shh, don't mind that. That wasn't your grandma. That was just a curse.
Okay. Should we get back to the boss?
Probably a wise idea. Is there some method of disposal for broken cursed items? Is there a recycling center, or do we drop it off at some sort of wizard university and they have a sort of an infernal incinerator? Or
Mendax has a bag of holding, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to stick a hat corpse in it?
Hat corpse.
Yeah, sure, why not? It can go with all the other biscuits I've got in there.
What did biscuits mean earlier? Biscuits meant something earlier. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that word means, but yes.
Yeah, all right. I'll translate it. Cookies.
Oh no, it meant something infernal.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Don't say that around the tiefling boys, or they'll look at you funny.
No. We should probably bleep that out.
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah. Yeah. If you think the transatlantic one, that's not confusing. The infernal one.
It's the infernal one. Yeah,
that's the real bother. I finally removed the shirt Pidge got him and said, "Here you go. You can make that into a new cloak, so I don't have to wear it anymore."
Assuming I guess I can fabricate, huh?
Yeah, assuming that a sort of a humanoid tiefling size shirt would do well for a cloak for Pidge's size.
I'm good. I think you still have to wear a shirt around the children. I think of the feathers. Like those poor feathers can't handle that. They can't handle you. You're just too much for them. They'll overheat.
Yes. Well, that wouldn't be the first time. So he pops his shirt back on, reminding himself to just get a slightly longer overcoat.
Nice. And that conversation about shirts and biscuits would happen as you're kind of walking back towards the bus. And as you make your way towards the bus, you realize that Professor Indigo and some of the students had kind of walked out of the bus, just like stayed on the road, but just around, and they were calling out for you guys. Like, you see Cheryl Dro just be like, Velda, and like calling for you guys as you all make your way back.
Cheryl Dro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's okay?
Yeah,
she's
she was
not like
fine.
emotionally scarred or anything? Okay, good. She got sucked out of a bus window and dragged... Okay, I was worried about her.
Yeah, but you managed to save her and kind of quickly bring her back. So she's recovering.
Teenagers these days are tough.
Yeah,
they're very
she's
desensitized.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll have felt like half a second between being sucked out the window and yanked back in, so it'll have...
It's going to make a great story.
Yeah, she's gonna like this. She'll tell a story. She'll tell that story in performance as a contortionist. How, I don't know, but she'll do it.
She will be the window and push herself through it at the same time, which is truly contortion is the art form for this story.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
So you kind of all head back, and you realize that Professor Indigo comes to you, and he's very excited to say, you know, like, oh, I don't know what you did, but Jimmy kind of woke up for a moment. He was immobile, and then he woke up. He's still a little bit out of it, unconscious, but he's breathing now, and he seems fine.
Damn it.
Well, we tried to do all that we could. Sorry, but and then Scrape realizes that he's actually pleased about Weird Kid being alive again, and goes, "Oh well, you know, all in a day's work for the FBKG."
And you all, after kind of gathering yourselves and talking for a moment, you all head back on the bus as you need to finish traveling towards the talent show competition.
Oh, that's still on. Okay.
Of course it is.
I guess the kid's awake now. We got 2 busted out windows, but sure.
Yeah,
can I mend the windows? It's a cantrip for me, so I can just
of course.
repair the bus.
It'll take some time because usually mending is like for one break.
Yeah.
But you are able to like take some time and kind of fix things. While you're fixing the windows, and specifically when you're fixing the one that was next to Cheryl's window, she looks at you and she's like, "Hey, dude, you were so brave when you kind of jumped out of the window and you came after me, and I mean, like, you did manage to save Jimmy, but, like, I didn't fall like he did because of you, and that was great. And I noticed that you've lost your cape, so here, you can have mine." And she kind of takes off her constellation poncho and gives it to you, Pidge.
Oh,
And I'll send you the stats later. It's called the Spell Woven Robes.
All right.
You can, like, they can change appearances and stuff. She usually wears it as like a poncho, but like they can act as like a cape.
Okay.
Because she's very grateful.
I guess I'll accept I did save your life. But I was paid to do that, so you don't have to give me additional compensation. I'll give her something in return. I'm going to take out one of my items. What shall I give her? Oh, I have a walnut that can hold spells.
Oh.
I'm going to give this to her. It's currently got control water in it. And I'm going to tell her it's got control water in it, which is a very high level spell. And I'm going to say, if you're in danger again, kiddo, this mystic walnut is holding control water. You can have it, and you can charge it with any single spell of your choice, and stay safe, kid. So I'm going to trade her. Trade.
All right. She takes that very gladly. And I'll send you the stats for the poncho right after this. You keep traveling. The rest of the travel is relatively uneventful. There is a lot of conversations about what happened on the bus. Some people are like, "What? Your hat was magic?" And then at some point, you just hear quiet little Jimmy, who's kind of recently regained consciousness, kind of rubbing his head. And that's as you get close to the city where the Jollyburg auditorium, well, you get to the city of Jollyburg. And you had kind of Jimmy kind of come to consciousness, and he was like, "I thought I was doing this. It wasn't me. It was your hat." And then quickly you see him kind of pull out the suitcase. I had a brain fart for a moment. and you see him press the 3 buttons at the same time on the suitcase, opening it up.
Oh, so that's the secret.
Secret. So he presses the 3 buttons at the same time, opens it up, and pulls out a little puppet who, at the moment, looks like a little bit of a dragon. Like it's kind of like got this like lizard head and like tiny little wings that kind of flap down. And he's like, I thought it was my puppet. I don't know how to say this. I think it's mean. I think it's cursed. Like, whenever I try to use it and I'm bad, it insults me.
Dude, puppets are like that all the time. Let me tell you. I mean, if you haven't got a puppet that doesn't insult you, it's not a puppet.
Okay.
Have you ever tried having a go back? You ever tried telling the puppet what you think of it?
I did, and then it just becomes worse. And as he says this, you see, like, coming out of nowhere, there's, like, a tomato kind of hits him across the face.
Oh, they need puppet controller couples therapy.
You know what? I don't even want to be in the talent competition. I just signed up because it wanted me to sign up. And, like, I don't know. I know it's magic and, like, it does all these bad things whenever I don't use it, but I don't know how to get rid of it. Like, do you want it? You seem to like puppets. You had a sock.
Mendax is the only one back there because Pidge is taking a short rest.
Yeah. Mendax kind of like pulls the sock out of his pocket and just goes, "Dude, we had a good run. I mean, I'm still not going to clean you, but you could..." So I kind of just drop both of them into the bag of holding and go, "Dude, gimme. Mine."
Okay, and you see him kind of, he gives you the puppet, he puts it in your hand, and as he gives it to you, you see that seemingly coming out of nowhere, a second tomato hits him across the face. And he's like, "Oh, this happens every time I try to get rid of it." Mendax, since you're having this conversation with him, you can roll an Arcana.
Okie dokies, my Arcana is not very good. And that roll proved it, 7.
I mean, you realize that there probably is some magic to this item. And at this point, this would be the moment in the conversation where he wants to give you the puppet, but he's not able to. And this would be kind of when you get to the hotel before the talent show competition. So it's kind of like the end of the night. Pidge, you've had your short rest, and like whoever else wants to like put in a short rest in that time, feel free to like recover what you need to recover and roll hit dice that you want to hit dice. You get to the hotel. Professor Indigo is excited that everybody's fine. He wants to get to some sort of like ascending stone in order to inform the school that everybody got safely to the hotel before the talent show.
Hooah! Fire-breathing kittens.
And
FBKG.
Mendax, please roll a d20, just like a straight luck die.
No problem. 6.
6. All right, that was an even roll. So as you walk in, you realize that as you walk into the hotel, still thinking about that puppet, you see 2 other people are in the lineup at the hotel to check in. First you see is another tabaxi, but this one very tall, very skinny, seems kind of old but fit for his age, with a little bit of like a scarf around his neck, and you kind of have this gasp moment of, "Oh my god, it's Mick Jaguar!" And behind him, you see standing your ex, Rhiannon from Eastwood Mac. And you see her she seems, poised, her long blonde hair under a tiny little hat and like a big white shawl on her shoulders, just waiting to check in. And she kind of sees you walk in, and there's this moment of, "Oh, hi."
I pat my pockets and remember that my socks are no longer in there and go, "Oh, great, there goes the icebreaker. Hi."
Oh, this is your ex.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd be here.
Neither did I. How have you been? I guess, it's been, a week?
Yes, it has been a week.
Grape can't take his eyes off the scene and is, without even looking, filling the bowl of his pipe and just staring at as he lights it up and just grinning the whole time.
All right. So I guess you're coming with the students that we're going to judge tomorrow, right?
Something like that, some kind of guarding thing. You know how it works. You know, people, ask me to do stuff. I get a lot of money, and then I kind of, I do my thing, and it all works out good. Yeah.
I understand. Why is that one covered in tomatoes?
Boys gotta have a thing.
All right. Very good. Well, it was good to see you. And she turns around and goes to check in.
Oh, I feel so bad for you because you're around your ex. Oh, gosh.
Roll a history check.
7.
All right, I'm trying to help you here, and it's not working. So I'm just going to give you a freebie. I put her there for a reason.
I blame the dice.
You remember that Rhiannon has a nickname as a stage name. She's called the White Witch, and because of one of the things she's able to do,
not what I call her.
We don't say that in front of the children. But you realize that she is able to break curses. And you realize that she might be able to free Jimmy from the puppet.
Oh, but she's your ex, so you have to ask her. Oh, man.
Had
Your
we ever
pride or your
considered
puppet?
that it would be funnier to leave Jimmy her?
It would.
It would.
It would be much funnier.
However...
But then I don't get a sweet puppet.
That's true. You don't get a freshly uncursed puppet. And also, it might affect how much we get paid. And if she charges us, we can write it off as expense. School will pay for it, and they've got all sorts of money.
Good point.
We've always got that one in the back pocket.
You know what would be funny is if you fumbled your talk to her and did express how sad it is that this boy is cursed, but also expressed your desire to have the puppet. So she curses it onto you. So it's a cursed item onto you, attached at you. So you get hit in the face with tomato.
Don't give the DM ideas.
Because she's your ex. She likes kids, and she also doesn't like you.
I'm giving you the choice, Mendax. Do you want to ask her or try and ask her to do this?
I'm going to try, but in the most awkward way possible.
All right. So
I'm going to write a note.
Are you going to get one of the kids to pass it to her, like in the classroom?
No. I'm gonna kind of like write it down on a scrap of paper and just kind of hold it. So if I forget my words, then it's right there in front of me. Okay.
So you write a note and then you go up to her?
Yeah, and just kind of like head bowed. It's like, Rhiannon.
Sorry, can I just break in there? But while this is going on,
yeah, go for it.
I'm going to, Scrape is going to ask the feathers if they'll do a bit of sort of, and start a sort of little flash mob around him so that all the children come in and start singing as he asks her to uncurse the puppet of a sad boy.
All right, for sure. I mean, that's what they're known for.
It's going to be like We Are the World. It's going to be...
Yeah. So
I mean, we are going for the most awkward situation possible, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She thinks you're going to propose.
Let's make it a flash mob.
Yeah.
So, Mendax, as you walk up to Rhiannon the White Witch, with your little note, you start hearing a little bit of a tap sound coming from behind you, and you see these three girls kind of starting their tap routine and their movements. And it's actually beautiful to watch their performance because they're dancing, but there's like flapping wings also, and like the owl one kind of just turns her head one way and the other. And it's impressive to see these birds dance. And you can proceed with asking her whatever you want, Mendax.
See, as a player, this would be my like absolute nightmare.
The tieflings like sort of just start a bit of close harmony together and sort of, and they're being conducted. It's all bringing
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like,
a Hulkly number.
Because like, what are my absolute like most hated things is like a group of people like singing "Happy Birthday." So I know, like as a person, I would not be able to deal with. I mean, the last time people tried to sing "Happy Birthday" to me, I ran out of the room.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
I get that. Let's go back to Rhiannon. What do you want to ask her?
Okay, so
But yes, this is Mendax, yarn spinner, the great
Yeah.
actor. He can
and
definitely.
animal handler apparently
I'll account.
somehow. Okay, so Mendax just kind of has the note there. He's ready. He was like, "Okay, you can probably do this." Rhiannon, I need a favor. Things didn't end well between us. But if you kind of ever respected me as a person or a musician, I kind of need this from you. So if you wouldn't mind, would you do me the honor of decussing this puppet for me? Please.
All right, roll your persuasion, please.
Come on.
And you're getting advantage because you have birds and tiefling boys helping you.
And also I have the words written down in front of me, so I can't mess that up.
Yeah, but you can't help yourself, so...
It's a very good point. Okay. Ooh, well, the lowest one was a 2, so it's a good thing I had advantage. Otherwise, we are looking at a 31.
Of course.
Yay, birds.
Buds,
So,
baby.
with a 30 for 31... With the 31, you see her, and she kind of... There's this sort of, like, it's easy for her, and she doesn't really care, so she just kind of touches the puppet, and it quickly, like, kind of falls to the ground. Jimmy was still holding it, and it just kind of falls. And what she says is, all right, so I broke the curse on him, but that puppet is still cursed. If you take it, you will be cursed, and then I can remove the curse on you, or you can keep the curse. And I'll send the item into our conversation because, and that's not something you need to decide right away.
Oh, that's
but
good.
I think the curse on the item is funny, so you might want to keep it, but if you want to keep the item without the curse, you can do that too.
Okay.
So it's a cursed magic item called the Jester's Companion. The puppet will let you, like, it's basically you'll be able to use it as a spellcasting focus, and you can do a few little things with the puppet. It increases your performances when you perform with the puppet and things like that. And it also can speak from your mouth, and it can take whatever appearance you want it to have. So it's not always a little dragon puppet. But it also punishes you if you make bad performance skill checks, if you don't use it for a couple of hours, or if you try to give it away, which I think is hilarious. So you might want to keep it or not.
Honestly, I think that sounds funny. Let's do it.
All right, so I'll put the links in our conversation. It's shout out to Griffin Saddleback, by the way. I'm taking a bunch of their magic items, so you get that. But that one's mine, though. Here.
Cool.
So
So Mendax reaches down, kind of grabs the puppet and goes, works for me.
If it means I don't have to talk to Rhiannon anymore.
Yeah. Yep. He's got
Exactly.
an icebreaker.
So as you all check into the hotel, getting ready for the talent show tomorrow, Pidge with your new constellation poncho that can change appearances, and Mendax with that cursed puppet, you see Professor Indigo. Thank you for showing me a puppet.
It looks
You see
pretty cursed. Oh my gosh, it's got hands. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, listeners, he's got a real puppet. It's a thing.
I made this 13 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So as you all check in, and Mendax is playing with his puppet a little too much, you see Professor
how's
Indigo
it going?
You see Professor Indigo walk to you with a second check for the remaining 15,000 gold, which he hands to Scrape.
Thanking you, sir.
And this concludes this adventure of the Firebreathing Kitten as they're all checking into the
Who won
hotel.
the talent show?
I was getting there. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of an epilogue following this adventure.
Good, I must know.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask everyone to pick their favorite act, and you'll get to roll for them and see who wins.
And to remind everyone, there is the, I wrote this very tinily, Alchemical Romance, a group of gnomish girls. Jimmy Sonovan, a puppeteer.
He's out. He's out though.
He has no puppet anymore.
He doesn't have a puppet. Miley Saurus, the cover singer Dragonborn girl. The One Destruction, the young tiefling guys boys band. Not a boy band. And the drow girl called
Cheryl Drow, that's the
Cheryl
contortionist.
Drow, the contortionist. And then there's the half-orc with the red hair and braids and glasses and wizard's hat, who is Velda. Velda Hadaway, probably. Maybe.
Scrape aside, I can't be seen to shirk my devotion to the tiefling lad, so I've got my fingers crossed for those.
Okay, so you're going to be rolling for One Destruction. Mendax, who do you support?
Can I vote for myself in last minute entry?
You are not a high school student, so no, you may not.
But what I am is a changeling. I can look like a high school student.
Okay, I'll give you the choice. Do you want to look like Jimmy and take his place?
Yes, please.
Okay.
One more time this evening, Jimmy gets freaked out because he sees himself on the stage.
Wait, but I wasn't.
Jimmy
right,
thinks, oh yeah, I know, I think I'm all right. I'll go and watch the show. I'm feeling
I think
better
I can
now.
manage
Oh
it.
no.
All right, and Pidge, who do you support?
One Destruction. I like boy bands.
All right,
They're not boy bands.
One
It's just
Destruction.
lucky she lived. I'm.
One Destruction is already, just because you'll all have to roll for an act, you'll have to pick someone that Scrape didn't pick. Sorry.
You're not
Okay.
gonna go for your mate Velda.
No, she got something this episode. Who didn't get something? Alchemical Romance didn't get anything.
There you go,
So-
the gnomes.
All right, so you're going to support the gnomes. So all of you guys can roll just a straight d20 for your acts. It's kind of unfair for all of these guys because, I mean, if Mendax is actually in the competition,
Then I should be able to roll my performance.
oh yeah,
As
you
well,
totally
right?
should.
Oh, man.
With the puppet
Speaking
stats
of
and stuff.
unfair,
Jimmy has the best act he's ever given.
It's the best. It's like a swan song for Jimmy's like, that's it, guys, and now I'm out of showbiz.
Yeah, I can never perform with this puppet again. This was the one time, and I rolled a 10, by the way. So Pidge's Alchemical Romance probably
Okay,
just did
something
okay.
happened here, so let's see what happens. How much did Alchemical Romance roll?
10.
10. Okay. What about One Destruction?
Living up to their name, they rolled a natural 1. Presumably resulting in some mild explosion or at least some bone trauma.
a fireball.
Yeah. The drummer kind of throws one of his little stick thingies. It hits one of the other tieflings. His hellish rebukes explodes. Yeah, it's a shit show. All right, Jimmy, roll your performance, please.
Without adding performance in, I rolled an 18. With performance, 31.
31.
Those classic
All right.
31s you're always rolling.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
So-
Doing good.
All right. So, to conclude with the other acts, Miley Saurus rolled a 7. She tried to sing her Dolly Parton cover, but unfortunately the wig didn't really hold onto her dragonborn head. It was very sad to watch.
But she's an
three
eagle
feathers-
when she flies. Really.
Yeah. The Three Feathers did an impressive dance performance, rolling a 19. Cheryl Drow, the contortionist, rolled a natural 20. Her performance is amazing. You see her, she gets on stage, she starts twisting and, telling the story of how she flew out the window by, being the window and pushing herself out at the same time. And at the last moment, she pulls out a little walnut. And behind her, water pours out from jugs and bottles as the water kind of enhances her performance, taking the shape of this smoke monster that attacked her. And she tells this whole story using the control water to support her performance. Everybody is like, wow, Cheryl was amazing. Where did she learn how to do that? Like, the water, the contortion, all of this. Amazing. But Jimmy the Puppeteer still wins with a 31.
Yay.
Which now that we know that, it seems really mean-spirited of him to have pretended to be a child in order to win a talent show.
But perfectly on brand.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as the talent show closes, Jimmy receives the prize money that was planned for the winner, and gets 250 more gold pieces.
Oh, he can buy a replacement puppy that's not cursed. That was actually really nice of you, Mendax. Pidge says very loudly in front of Jimmy.
I have the suspicion that Jimmy has had enough of puppets.
Oh yeah, I really don't want another.
Oh.
I can give him one shiny gold piece for his troubles.
Oh, thank you, sir.
More than he started out with.
Yeah, he's made a net profit this time round.
Oh, yeah.
And following the very impressive winning of Jimmy the Puppeteer, this closes the epilogue for this adventure of the Firebreathing Kittens.
Yay.
Hey.
Yay! Congratulations, guys. And thank you for playing Pidge.
Bye-bye.
Scrape.
Pleasure as always, Squire.
And Mendax.
Dude, I've been doing this accent all night. I don't even know if the dude is what I think he is, but hey, whatever. Moving on.
Cool. Thank you for playing, guys. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Firebreathing Kittens podcast. You can find more adventures on Amazon.com in the bookstore, Firebreathing Kittens, all one word, podcast. That's right, you can curl up with a good book based on one of our podcast episodes. The authors do a really great job of adapting them into fun novels. And did you know that we have webcomics? Look for the adventures of Firebreathing Kittens on webtoons.com. We also have official merchandise on redbubble.com. Yes, that's right. You really can own a notepad with the Firebreathing Kitten logo on the front. Or one of your favorite characters. Go to redbubble.com and search for works from your favorite characters such as Frath, Amonist, Azreen, and more.
Welcome to Firebreathing Kittens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. We are joined by Pidge.
Hi, I'm a level 12 Transfiguration Wizard, Rock Gnome. I'm a Nuzlocke Challenge character, so I can only take Transfiguration spells. Does that make me weak? Well, let's find out.
Scrape.
How you doing? I'm Scrape, Tiefling Sorcerer. Tried to quit the magic. Turned out it was in me all along. Prettiest thing you'll ever see on 2 legs.
Nice. And Mendax.
I'm a changeling, and I'm level 12, so maybe I can be a gnome or an elf, but I wouldn't want to deprive you, see, of the chance to get a good look at me, cause I'm Mendax, and I'm the best in the land. Maybe it's off the cuff, or maybe it's planned, but it doesn't matter. Let me tell you what, let me serve you up a piece of humble pie. I'm a fashion icon, that much I know. I look great in rain, sleet, sunshine, or snow. I got the perfect hair, the perfect coat. Whatever I wear, I know it floats your boat, but I look dapper, man, you shout with glee. Damn it. Can I start again?
Just keep going, I'll put it in the middle.
Joke.
It's an audio video.
Yeah. Oh. No, I'm gonna have to start that again, I promise. Because I was like,
All right,
I
you get
I
one
can't.
more chance, and if you mess up, just keep going, and I will literally cut out the middle mess up part.
Okay.
No, it's okay. I pre-recorded it, so I can always just dump it in. But I want the live version, if at all possible.
For the B-side.
Okay. Yeah. I can do the outtakes at the end if you want. But no, I want the live version. Oh.
Okay, do it.
Oh. I need water.
He's gonna do a deep breath and reset.
It's so hot in here.
Ice packs, man. Ice packs.
Yeah, I do have a big water in the freezer, but it takes a while. Oh, have you ever tried to rap in a heat wave? It's not a good idea.
I've never tried to rap.
No. This is like the second time I've done it. I've been practicing for 3 days now.
Oh.
Okay.
You can do it.
I can't, yeah. Let's
You want me
go.
to flavour a bit?
I'm a changeling, and level 12, so maybe I can be a gnome or an elf, but I wouldn't want to deprive you, see, of the chance to get a good look at me, cause I'm Mendax, and I'm the best in the land. Maybe it's off the cuff, or maybe it's planned, but it doesn't matter, let me tell you why. Let me serve you up a piece of humble pie. I'm a fashion icon, that much I know. I look great in rain, sleet, sunshine, or snow. I got the perfect hair, the perfect coat, whatever I wear, I know it floats your boat, but I look dapper, man, you shout with glee. Let me tell you, man, you got nothing on me. All of that, and I'm an actor too, so sit down, man, move over and shoot. I'm the yarn spinner, yeah, that's my name. My claim to fame puts you all to shame. Don't blame the game for my acclaim. I just came to aim to drive the dames insane. You're a Mendax, I'm held in high regard. I tame the flame and I don't get scarred. I'm a wild card marred by the avant-garde. I can't go to the pub cause I am barred.
All right. Please don't do it for real, but please drop the mic. And